Oh my God, I've been talking to myself. I forgot to unmute. I'm really sorry about that. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Greetings, everyone. Please let me know if you can hear me. If you can hear me, I want to make sure my audio is fine. So I'm not talking to myself. Thank you to all my returning subscribers. Thanks to my fam. I really appreciate you guys. Honestly, your support is immense. It means a lot to me. I don't take your support for granted. To all my returning subscribers, you guys are the best. My new supporters, thank you. Welcome on board. Welcome to this wonderful, loving, huggable family. We hope that you're enjoying the content. Please let me know if you can hear me. Comment down below if you can hear me. I want to make sure the audio is fine. Please let me know if you can hear me. How was your holiday yesterday? Most people celebrated Labor Day yesterday. How was it? Did you guys have barbecues? Was there partying, plenty food and all of that, the whole nine? Let me know if you can hear me. Please, 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 please acknowledge if you can hear me. Let me see. Okay. Yeah. So, guys, I want us to address this today. I've been wondering. Hey, Benny, welcome. You must be new to my channel. So, welcome. Let me send you some champagne in the comment section for joining the family. I need to send you some champagne. I know you can't drink. It's probably early for you. I don't know where you are, but I'm going to send it anyways. Yay! Yay to Benny. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Please let me know if you can hear me, Benny. Let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Am I clear? Let me know if you can hear me. Okay. Oh, it's not your first time? I'm sorry. I apologize, but I guess you can. Okay, it's not your first time. Okay, well, you can take all the love and all the champagne. That's fine. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So today, I want us to address this issue. Now, Peter Obi has been making the rounds. He's been telling you and I that we're important to this campaign, to this election, and he's made the effort to reach out to each and everyone as much as possible. And I'm sure he's not meeting anybody individually. He's meeting us in groups, right? And a lot of people in Nigeria are also aware of who he is. And most of us have watched the videos of Peter Obi. We have at least an extensive knowledge about what he's done and what he plans to do, right? We have that because he's made that plain to all of us. I have been waiting for the other side to bring out, so at least come out and talk to us. But all I've been hearing lately are, most of the comments I've been hearing is mostly from his what's it called? Communications people, for lack of better words. They come and they're asking them questions, I'm wondering to myself, is this not an election year? Shouldn't the candidates be given the opportunity to speak directly to the citizens that they want to rule over? This is very important. I don't think we should skip a step in this. If you're coming out and you're saying you want people to vote for you, shouldn't you make it a necessity for you to reach out to the people themselves. So you can hear directly from them what their concerns are, what their fears are. I mean, we all know the issues in Nigeria. We all know that there's insecurity, there's heightened level of insecurity. We know there's hunger in the land. We know the students have been at home. We need to be able to ask these people what they intend to do when they get in. We need to be asking them. We can't skip that step. We've been used to, listening to proxies, mouthpiece, speak on their behalf, tell us with passion what their candidates can do. But can the candidates do it themselves? I personally don't want anybody, any proxy talking to me, anybody coming from and saying, oh, I'm speaking for this person or that person. That's not the person running for office. The person running for office needs to tell and prove to the people why we should vote for you. What plans do you have for the issues on ground? What plans do you have for security? We need to be able to ask those questions. What plans do you have for medical services, hospitals? Students have been on strike for months. It's almost a year now. What plans do you have? What immediate plans do you have? So when you get in, we know what you're going to be doing. These people should be reaching the people and having conversations with the people. You make yourself amiable to the people. You do not use a proxy. That's not how elections are done. This is a critical time in Nigeria. It's a very critical time. We cannot afford to do things like it's been done forever. And a lot of us, yes, our eyes have opened. The scales have fallen. If we're all wearing scales before, it's dropped off. So we need to be asking hard questions. So I ask again, I've not seen any of the other political parties in any of the major news outlets in Nigeria coming out and saying, this is what I intend to do for the people, unscripted. These are the things I'm going to do once I get in. This is what I intend to make happen. The issue of no jobs for the young people. This is how I'm going to turn it around for them and make their lives easier. The issue of ASU strike, this is what I'm going to do. I mean, am I the only one? Because I don't see anybody who wants to lead a group of people, such dynamic and diverse group of tribes, and want to do it through proxy. We've been using mouthpieces for a long time. We cannot conduct elections. This election is not the same as before. The standards have been set high. If you're trying to make us buy the product you're selling, shouldn't you make your product interesting for the people who are going to cast their vote for you? Interesting? Shouldn't you garnish it with all types of flavors that you think the people are, the people are interested in eating, because it makes no sense for me, even as business people who do business, when you want to sell a product, you want to sell it in such a way that people will keep coming back and they will see a difference in your service or how you do the things that you do. And now we're talking about a leader of an entire group of people, dynamic group of people, of different tribes, peculiar people, and you're not coming out and expressing yourself in a way that people will buy into the product you're selling. I don't understand that. Me personally, I would not vote for anyone who I have not spoken to. I have not been given the opportunity to ask questions. I want to be able to ask, why can't I'm a Nigerian, why can't I vote for the Nigerian election? What are you doing about that to make sure that those of us who do not live in Nigeria are able to vote? What are you going to do about it? The insecurity issue that is happening right now in Nigeria, what are your plans about it? What are you going to do? The incessant kidnappings, what are you going to do about it? Those questions are very important because these are real issues affecting people's lives right now as we speak. People go to sleep in Nigeria with one eye closed. There are a lot of people who have been deprived of sleep because of the fact that they are living in dangerous times, you know. And I want to be able to ask, what is the source? Can you prove your source of income? Where did you get your funds from? How did you, maybe you can teach us a thing or two about how you became a billionaire, so that those of us who are ambitious enough and want to be billionaires can learn from you. I mean, that's a fair question. What are you going to do about the women's issues, the children? There's a lot of children and women suffer the most in Nigeria because it's a man's world. What are you doing? What laws are you putting in place to ensure that the circle doesn't repeat itself? Do you have any mentors, any young people that you're mentoring to take over from you? These are very valid questions. How do you vote somebody in who has not made themselves accessible to you? How do you vote somebody like that? You can't close your eyes to everything that's going on and just, oh, okay, let me just vote. It doesn't work like that. I'm asking these questions because they're very vital questions, and we cannot sweep it under the carpet. There's a lot of questions that needs to be asked. I, for one, anybody can be swayed. If you're gunning for my own you're gunning for me to vote for you. You want to make it palatable for me. You want to make me comfortable enough to say yes. You want to be able to win my trust, gain my trust. You just don't become a leader by bamboozling your way in there. It's not going to work. So you need to tell me, hey, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do about insecurity. That's the number one in Nigeria right now. This is what I'm going to do to put an end to insecurity. This is what I'm going to do to start to engage the young people. This is what I'm going to do to solve the problem of electricity. This is what I'm going to do to solve the problem of water. Those are real issues. What about the roads? You have to talk about the roads, because the hospitals now, they're not the one. You don't go to the hospital and just, somebody doesn't just go to the hospital and just get deleted. The roads are terrible. Matter of fact, recently somebody had a ghastly accident. I think it was one of these gospel singers in Nigeria. I can't remember his name now. He had a terrible accident. Something could have happened to that man. Hello, Neka. Welcome. Oh, welcome. Happy Tuesday. So I want to address this issue. Something could have happened to that man. He could have been worse than it is. So we need to be asking the questions. Me, I never hear any of those opposing parties any of their candidates come out say, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to bring about if you vote me in. Nothing like that. All I've been hearing is proxy. People are coming on, different people from their camp is going to different channels, different national TV channels in Nigeria, and just talking about what their candidate is going to do. We're not hearing, are you the one contesting for the election? That's the question. You're not the one contesting for the election. So why should I vote for you? If you're not contesting for the election, you are more passionate than the person that is running for office. How about the person who's running for the office comes in front of the people and talk to us? We're human beings. Sorry about that, guys. It's an emergency. I think there's a grid. I need to turn off my AC to conserve energy. So one momento. We just got the alert now because it's high. It's like 116. Yeah. I've never experienced heat like this before. But anyways, as I was saying, Shebi, if you want people to vote for you, if you want sell market, maybe you go, when you go market, you lay your products down for market, right? Make I use the most, tomato, pepper. You go lay them, arrange and where people go come, they go price your market, they go buy. Some people go look, some people tomatoes, pepper, onions and everything, they go waka pass. Why? Because they don't like the look of them. Maybe it looks old, maybe it looks wrinkled, it's not fresh. for so many reasons, right? So why you that you are bidding, you want people to vote for you, you want people to trust you enough to vote, to tender their vote to you. Why don't you see the urgency in reaching out to the people and saying, you know what? Let me bear myself before you. The reason why I am contesting to be the president of this country is because I have the answers to the problems that we're all facing. You tackle the issue of insecurity. This is what I intend to do. And you're unafraid to answer questions that are posed to you because you're trying to gain the trust of the people. If the people cannot trust you, how do they vote for you? How do you vote for someone you don't trust? I don't understand that. Even in business, people who are partners in business, there's a certain level of trust they have for each other in order to carry out the business successfully. If they don't trust each other, they can't work together. Having trust for one another in a business partnership is more important than liking each other, because the partners can like each other, right? But there's no trust. So if you are not coming out as a candidate and say, hey, I want to win the votes of the Edo people, I want to win the votes of the Efik, I want to win the votes of the Kalabari people, I want to win the votes of Calabar people, I want to win the votes of Yoruba people, I want to win the votes of Hausa, of Igbo, of every single tribe we have in Nigeria. Bikono, all these people are suffering the same things at the same time. There are no good roads anywhere. Nobody's enjoying 24/7 electricity. There's no light. The light is not good. Everybody's doing a better pass my neighbor generator. Okay? People are not sleeping well. There's sleep deprivation. People are suffering from sleep deprivation. They cannot sleep through the night. Right now, it's very hot. Imagine you're in Nigeria and it is extremely hot. How are you able to sleep on top of the fact that there's no lights? You want the people to trust you enough, right? So you can be their leader. What are you doing about it? What are you doing about it? Are Nigerians just going to allow the same things happen over and over again? Are we not tired? Are we not tired of doing things the same way, consistently for years and seeing no results? Aren't we tired of it? I'm talking from a distance away, but I'm exhausted just talking about it, just even thinking about it. How about you that is in Nigeria? Are you not tired of the status quo? Are you not tired that every day these people will come and say they want your vote, but you don't see them? The only time you feel their impact is when they bring half cup of rice to you, half gallon of oil, half basket of onions, give you 5k in 10 places to different people. That's the only time you see them. And then maybe they give you Ankara, shikena. After that, you don't see them again until 4 or 8 years later. Are you not tired of it? Are you not tired of selling out the future of your children? As old as I am today, I've never enjoyed a thing in Nigeria. Nigeria has done nothing, zero. I can't boast of it. We produced our own food. Growing up, we had farm. I grew up on the farm. The electricity, you had to buy generator. There was no 24/7 electricity. I grew up. I used lantern and candle to read in school. Lantern and candle. I don't know how we even excel. I don't know how we did it, but we sure managed. On top of it, we had ASU strike. It was as though it was even during my time that they started the ASU strike. We stayed at home for a long time. Okay? Nothing. We don't use sawdust cook for my house. Nothing when Nigeria don't offer. All the leaders have not offered. I did not do free education. There was no free education. I didn't go. I didn't enjoy free education. All the free education they're talking about that somebody brought about. None of me, I did not enjoy it. The only thing I probably think we got was bursary. That's it. And we got the least amount. where others were getting thousands, we were getting like hundreds. We're getting hundreds. So I ask Nigerians, are you not tired? Can you stand up and say, this is what Nigeria has done for me? This is what I have gained from it. Can you speak to that? I mean, are you not tired of the same old thing? Somebody comes and is asking for your hand in marriage, for instance. You don't see the person. You don't know the person. You have not established any type of relationship with this person. But the person is adamant and wants you to marry him or her. Very adamant. They say, it's me. You must marry me. You are using proxy. It's not them that is talking to you. It's proxy. You don't know this person. You have not seen this person. How do you marry someone like that blindly? Even people that do matchmaking, they still show each other a picture. They will say, okay, this is the picture of the man. They will give the man the picture of the girl. They will give the girl the picture of the man. Why Nigeria won't come be say, person they toast you, they see am. If they call a colleague, a friends, maybe they can't toast you on their behalf. Those ones they come, they are not even doing an effective job of it. Hey, Ify, welcome. Okay, he paid for your neco and made you pay back 200 fold. Do you understand? Now another person they use to toast you. You can't marry the man. You don't know waiting the man. You don't know how the man be. You can't marry and the man can't turn lion for your hand. He can't turn you to punching bag. If you're a woman, the woman go turn another thing for your hand. You go to sleep with everybody, including your neighbor, because now by proxy, now you take to stand. Is that what you want, Nigerians? I ask, and I'm just bearing my heart out to you guys. I'm very honest. Is that what you want to continue? Is that what you prefer with everything that's on ground? Everything. I don't want to go over it again and again. I don't want to sound like a broken record. But with everything that you see and hear that is happening, I saw a video of where bandits caught somebody stealing. When they hear the story, took the person to the police. The police, they were not even saying that that the bandit, the robber or the thief is lucky, that it's his good day that they would have just finished him. He's lucky. They're going to hand him over to the police. Bandits don't turn to our government for Nigeria. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Let me break it to you. They took the thief to the police station. Now bandits, now they arrest people when thief. They themselves be bandits. So go they give police. Police not see them arrest. Nothing when they fit do. Because they're not equipped. Nobody has provided anything. Is that the society you want to live in? Is that the society? Please, is that the society we want to live in and allow our own family, our generations to grow up in? Is that the dysfunction you want? I'm being very honest. Is that what we want as a people? Because you cannot be dancing around the same circles and think you're making improvements. You are not. Matter of fact, you're taking one step forward and 10 steps backwards. Oh, Celine, I'm so sorry, honey. Yeah, it's just, for me, it's after work. So the only time I can do mornings is probably like weekends. I am so sorry, Celine. No worries. You can hang with us until you want to leave. I understand. I understand, sis. I love you, regardless. Thank you so much. So I'm asking, Nigeria people. Now that one I want. You can't even travel by road travel a mile or 2 miles without, you have to fast and pray before you leave your house. Everybody is waiting for their turn for something terrible to happen because of the way or the level of insecurity in your country. It is only in Nigeria that people that are not from you are leading you and you are okay with it. Everybody is complacent. And people are coming on and trying to paint a picture, a beautiful picture of a dysfunctional system to people so that they can buy into it. How do you buy into dysfunction? How? Even a newborn baby knows that the society is in disarray. A newborn baby, fresh baby that you just gave birth to, is already feels the impact of the dysfunction called Nigeria. Are we okay with it? Because I still see a lot of people clamoring for the same old gods. They're okay with it. And when you ask, what is your reason for standing behind this person? They don't have anything concrete to say. They don't have anything concrete to contribute. They can't tell you why they're supporting these people. They can't explain it. If you ask them directly, why are you voting for these people, knowing that these people cannot take you to where you're going? Why do you want to enter a bus you know has no brakes? You know that there is a problem with the brakes in that car. You know that the gear is not working properly, but you want to enter. Why? Do you want to self-destruct? Eh? Hey, they don't know what to say. I agree with you, but I say make I come ask. Because I still see people, even a person wey no get eye, person wey no get ear, person wey no dey fit smell, they smell the rubbish, the stench when they come from the situation wey dey Nigeria. They smell the stench. How long are we going to continue this? Are we okay? Are we really okay? Because I see people still clamoring for the same old God. When are we going to open our heads and learn that this lifestyle, this current lifestyle that's happening in Nigeria, is dysfunction unto itself? It is destroying the psychology and the minds of people. That's why when some people act and say certain things, sometimes you wonder, my goodness, where is this thing? Where is this human being from? It's not entirely their fault. It's as a result of growing up in a dysfunctional society for so long. So it's messed up their way of thinking. It stunted their growth. It takes some people years to come into a level of wisdom that some others get so easily. We can't continue to do this to ourselves. We need to get out of this selfish mindset because your brother is benefiting, your uncle is benefiting, your father is benefiting, or just only me. We need to strip that me mindset. If it's not working for one person, it should be that the fact that it's not working for one person, it means it's not working for you. We cannot continue like this. We cannot. It's not going to, it will explode it will explode in its own face. Look at the countries around you that are surrounded by devastation. The things that are happening in Nigeria, if it happened in their own society, half of the things that happened in Nigeria, the reason why they are at war, it's not even up to the amount of the things that have happened in Nigeria. We don't even understand that we are on the brink, literally, like the last drop. We're teetering on a rope, not even an edge, a thin rope. That's what we're teetering on. We don't even know. Who are we fooling? Why are we deceiving ourselves? Why are we deceiving ourselves? You are a Nigerian and you can see with your eyes, you can hear, and you still choose to live in dysfunction. Please make it make sense. And people will come and want to defend the dysfunction. I don't understand it. Me, I don't watch it. I don't have interest in it because I have not heard the candidates. I'm not interested in the proxies they're using. I'm not interested in their mouthpiece. I'm interested in the candidates themselves. You see the way Peter Obi is going around and talking to people, not afraid to ask any hard questions. This is the demand we're making. Can they come out and answer questions and talk to us like human beings? The person we have, Boo Boo, that we have right now, has never spoken to the people one day. With all the devastation that's happened in that country, not a word, not a beep from him. Is that what we want to continue? Is that what we truly want to continue? I'm not interested in their proxies. I'm not interested in them sending their messengers to come and explain what they want to do and how they are going to do it. No, me, I want to hear from them. Anybody with a PVC that wants to vote should be placing that demand. We want to hear from the candidates. Let's hear what they have to say. You are vying for my own vote. You want me to vote for you as my leader. You want me to vote for you as my leader, right? Prove to me that I can trust you. Tell me what you're going to do for me. Tell me what you can do for me. Then I would think and say, okay, this person makes sense. Based on what this person has said, perhaps I'm going to vote for them. But no, you are just in the background, talking, sending your proxies to talk down on other people so that you will look good. It does not work. It's not working anymore. All the cloth, the veil wanna take over our eye, e don comot. The scales wanna put before, e don fall comot. E don fall comot. E don fall comot. Exactly. Na messengers dem dey say. Wetin dey take their messengers do? Na their messengers dey run for office. No be dem dey run for office na. So why dem dey send their messenger? Na you wan come rule me, not na by force to rule person. You wan come rule me, you no wan tell me wetin you wan do. Which kind arrangement be that one? When you choose, when you say you wan rule people, you must get something when you wan offer them. Come tell us wetin you get to offer us. Then we go listen to you, we go know whether okay na true o, this person make sense o, na true e dey talk o. The way e say e go take do am. Make we ask you question, because plenty questions dey for ground when we need to ask these people. They never give us opportunity to ask them because they use proxy up and down. We no need proxy. We need to place a demand on them. Nigerians, place a demand on these leaders. They not let us vote. If to say they let us vote, all this one we dey talk, we no go to dey talk o. We no go to me get my own PVC. By the grace of God, I go show come vote, but most of us, if to say we get our PVC and we fit vote for you, trust trust and believe we go do wetin we need to do. Exactly. I know. I understand. I was being imagine an APC chieftain going on arrest to ask the anchors why they are complaining of insecurity when they still say exactly. Can you imagine? My goodness, imagine that. So as long as the newscasters are okay, there's no insecurity. Tell me, what kind of thinking is that? What kind of thinking is that? So because you can see the person that's anchoring and talking to you, the person is safe. You are saying there's no insecurity. You see the kind of people, when people they push onto Nigeria, say they must rule. These people don't care about you. They only care about themselves. The selfishness is inherent. Even the messengers, when they send, the selfishness is inherent in them also. Because they are okay. Then I think one of the interviews I watched today, the man was saying that he lives in the UK. He lived in the UK for a couple of years or something like that. Imagine, these people they can get away, they can run away if kasala burst. They will run and abandon you. They will run and abandon because they have nothing to lose. Their families are not there. They don't care. They don't even care about the schools. That's why people can go to Harvard and be flaunting it on social media. where you come from a country where people's schools have been shut down, fear not catch you. You not say, hey, I need to hide myself. Oh, you bring it out with your full chest to come and announce. Let people that are going to school, that are at home, let them go and just kokuma delete themselves. Imagine what callous attitude. And that one a person papa. And when things go, they happen to these people, they go, they say, nah, one enemy for village. Because are you not the one doing yourself? Are you not the one doing yourself like that? The people that you have milked, you have stripped life out of them. You are using the funds to flex, and you want things to be okay with you. How will it be okay? It's not a cause. How will it be okay? Good night, Celine. Thank you. Love you. Have a great night's sleep. Exactly, my sister. Exactly. Thank you, Neka. So Nigeria now they wait, make it become like the devastated societies when we know before they complain. That's what they are saying. That is the behind. That's the behind meaning of that sentence. Excuse me. That's the meaning behind that sentence. Eh? If you welcome, or if you can you hear me?
Can you
Maybe
hear
you're
me?
odd.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay.
I was trying to unmute it because I didn't
The
want any
feedback.
background noise to reflect there. Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
thank you.
I was being sarcastic when I said that because I think that was one of the reasons why I got a little bit virulent on Twitter. I don't know how to use burner accounts. Most of my friends use burner accounts for professional reasons, and I don't know how to do it. I've told people I don't even know how to fake email address and pretend like I'm somebody else. So I don't go on social media that much. But when I heard this guy say, he was asking Tudun and what's his name, Rufai, this tough, guy, the one who has tough questions on Arise.
Yeah, Rufai, yeah.
Yeah, he was saying to Rufai and Tudu, he said, why are you people complaining now? You guys come here, you're looking fresh. You come here to the studio, nobody's attacking you, and you're complaining of insecurity.
Can you imagine?
And you know what? I heard he was, or is he still like a state minister of state for information or something, or communication? And so
Wow.
Tundu was like, "Oh, honorable minister, I have a follow-up question for you. I just wanted to confirm that there are lots of goings on in your party, and I'm sure that the confidence of your party has been buoyed by Ashiwaju, blah blah blah." The guy said, "Eh, boy, waiting, boy, what? Look at this girl talking to me anyhow. That is boy."
Wow.
That guy doesn't even understand communication, and yet he's the minister of state for communication. One of the reasons why I even came into the studio today was to ask you: did you see the video of the Labour Party in Enugu State being attacked? They were shooting at them. Sorry for using that word, but they were attacking them. They shot at their cars. Scattered the whole office, the Labour Party office in Enugu State. Did you see that video?
I didn't see it. Are you serious today?
Oh yes, they were attacked. All of them had to run away, and
Wow.
the guys in the video were saying, "This is the land of Biafra." I know these are not Biafra people. I don't believe these are IPOB people.
Right.
IPOB people, IPOB has been infiltrated. There are so many fake people there now who the politicians are using to cause a lot of trouble. And they said if they see the Labour Party people there again, they're going to do something to them, and that Enugu State is the land of Biafra, and Labour Party is trying to sell Enugu to Nigeria. And I thought this is a joke. Why aren't you
Wow.
attacking PDP and APC, the party secretariats? Why are you attacking a Labour Party secretariat? Really, if you're thinking of people who are trying to take Nigeria from Biafra, then go to the APC and PDP people, because they're the ones who are in power uh,
Exactly.
under the Nigerian government in your state. So, that's that aside. Another thing that I am patiently waiting on God for is that again I saw this pastor. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry, I'm a Christian, but sometimes I feel like we don't have a lot of prophets left in Nigeria.
There's none. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But there's one like this, huh? They
Mm.
compiled his videos and how he literally tells who would win. He doesn't do it all the time, but he said Obaseki was going to win in Edo State. Obaseki won. He said the one in Ogun State was going to be unseated, and somebody else was going to win. And every time he calls those names, they confirm it. So he compiled a video and he said something. He said, "Well, God hasn't told him who would win in 2023, but that Nigerians are going to be shocked and they are going to rejoice." He said that, and then he now said that, according to him, he said, "Go out and vote." The only reason why I paid attention to him is because of all the other things he had said in the past that came to pass based on the happenings. He said PVC, that Nigerians think PVC is going to change everything this next year. He said PVC would do something, but PVC would come late. He said because God will start taking people out before the end of this year. And he was like, well, people are depending on their might. The PDP, sorry, the PVC is going to change something. But wait, you'll be shocked that you won't even need your PVC at the end of the day. I didn't say it like that, Omoye, not exactly like that, but he was saying something to the effect of God is going to, settle the case before anybody would even imagine stressing themselves to go and vote. He said you will start seeing obituaries on Arise TV and Channels TV, and people are going to be like, wow, so who will now represent this party? Remember when we were on Auntie B's program one time like that, and there was a caller who called.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that caller who said Nigerians should not bother themselves, that all these people that are contesting, most of them are not going to see the new year. And everybody was saying amen, amen. And in my mind, this person did not even identify themselves. He refused to say his name, if you remember that program with Auntie B. And
I
he,
vaguely, yeah,
yeah,
vaguely though.
he talked a little, Omoye, and he left. He just said something like, you guys will be shocked that Tinubu will not even be able to participate in next year's election. And when I put that together with what this other guy said, I can't remember his name. That's how unpopular this guy is, the pastor, the prophet, or whatever his name is. He's not popular at all. That's why I can't remember his name. But I remember sharing the video with my mom and my friend in the UK. I was like, hey, what do you think about this? This is amazing. It is amazing because I think the reason why God is going to step in is because they are going to come up with so many violent, ideas, like what we saw with LP today in Enugu. I will tell you the truth. I was driving while I was playing it on my YouTube, and
Uh-huh.
to tell you the truth, I was shedding tears. And at that moment, I started praying to God. I said, if these kind of people are going to be rampant before the election or during the election, God, just take them out of the way. I'm sorry, take them out of the
Yes,
way. Because you were saying to us at the beginning of this, you were doing a monologue at the beginning of your program, and you were saying something about aren't Nigerians tired? Aren't Nigerians tired? Who wants to who wants to buy on top of hunger?
exactly.
Imagine, Omoye, that these people go to vote on election day, and then these violent people show up. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to run away. Some people are going to be like, okay, 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 please, so I don't want to buy. Let me do what you want. See, we have very few bad eggs in Nigeria. And, I was talking to God as I was driving home this evening from work. I said, well, can you see that there are so many bad people in Nigeria, but they are not as many as the good ones? Can you, for the sake of the good people of Nigeria, deliver Nigeria for the first time?
Honestly.
You know, the burden in my heart was just so much watching that video. Maybe you should check on YouTube. It's called
I
Killer.
will. When after this program, I'm gonna look for it.
Yes, yes.
I didn't know about that. I haven't seen that video at all. I've been catching up. I saw Daniel Boala's interview
Oh,
on
that guy.
Arise, I
That guy.
think,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, the guy moved from APC to
To
PDP. What
PDP.
a joke! Guess what? I had listened to an interview he gave on the radio with Rufai, with the
Mm-hmm.
voice of the people that he has, right? And
Mm-hmm.
this guy comes on at the time he was APC. He was the mouthpiece. So
Mm-hmm.
Rufai was like, oh, so when are you going to get your candidate to come and give an interview? Is he going to come and talk to the people? Is he going to come and talk to the people? Guess what he said? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
these people are old, And then Rufai said, you saying they're too old to run?
Mm-hmm.
Asked him like twice. He now said, no, no, that's not what I meant to say. I misspoke. No, this and that. Only for the man, this interview, say he has moved to PDP and now exposing Tiff Nubu and
Mhm.
saying, oh, that he's incapable. They asked him, why did you leave APC? He said he left because it was against his principle what they were doing,
What
because of
principle?
the
Establish.
Muslim ticket. I'm like, really? That's why you left?
Hmm.
Muslim Lucy, really? Are you really serious? Because you cannot sell him. Just be
Hmm.
honest. You
Yes.
people don't have candidates that are sellable. Why don't you just say the
Absolutely,
truth?
absolutely. Yeah, I agree totally with you when you say they're not sellable. But these people don't have any principle. You know, when they come out and they say principle, I'm like, what kind of principle do you have? You don't even have any. Your principle is for sale. We see what is happening between FFK and Dino, and you can tell that these people are only hustling for their stomach.
Oh
You
yeah,
know, they're only,
absolutely.
yeah, they're only hustling for their stomach. My friend who lives in Abuja said one day he went to withdraw money at one of the most popular ATMs in Abuja, and there was somebody in the ATM, shade or something, and the person kept on going between two ATMs because the person had to withdraw so much money, and the people were queuing and waiting for their turn. It was Dino Melaye. Dino was using two ATMs at a time and withdrawing, I don't
Can
know how
you
much,
imagine?
so much money while people were queuing. So I asked my friend, I said, what did you say to him? He said, what can I say to him? I trust myself. I don't live in Nigeria, Sha. I would have just walked up to him and I said, Baba, how far now? You stole this money and you still will not let people who do honest day job.
Exactly, but people like, people like that, when you talk to, when you and you know you're right, if you confront those people, they are speechless in the moment. They can't say anything to you.
Absolutely. Because they don't have anything to tell you.
They're powerless when you challenge them. This is the problem I have. And I
Yeah.
don't entirely blame Nigerians for being, quiet like that. They,
Mhm.
it's like what's the word now? It's like when you're used to suffering, right? And you've become accustomed to it, it
Mhm.
doesn't when you're supposed to react, you don't read. That's what's going on with Nigerians. I'm not gonna it's
No,
just
it's
a fact.
hunger. Oh my God, it's hunger now. They're
That's true.
hungry.
That's
People,
true.
people are, I shared this story again on Auntie B's platform, but I think, I said a lot, and in between there, I think people didn't get the message. People are literally dying of hunger. They are dying of hunger in Nigeria. I don't know. I shared the story of the
Wow.
woman who attends the same. My mom attends this fellowship in Nigeria. It's called Women
Mhm.
of Vision in Lagos. So so many women gather, and they come together and they pray. And those people that don't even know what they want to share, whether it's testimony or it's just eye service they want to come and do. Because when women gather now, all sorts of different kind of things. So this one came out and said, "Praise God," and people were like, "Okay, praise God." She said, "Praise God." She runs a restaurant, and every time there are so many hungry people who come to beg them for food. And at some point, they were running on some kind of a deficit. And on this particular day, this guy came and was begging for food, and she refused. She told her girls not to give him food. And so he went and he lay down very close to the shop and just put his head down. Oh my, yeah. There was a particular customer who came 10 minutes after that and said,
Right.
"Who is that guy laying down there?" They said, "Don't mind him. He came to beg for food, but we don't have anything to give him." The
Oh
guy
my
was like,
God.
"What? Please, somebody wake him up and give him food. Madam, I'll pay." By the time they went to wake that guy up,
Don't
he
pass.
had died
Hey!
from hunger. I shared this story on Auntie B's program, but I don't think people got the gist. When I tell you
Oh
that I'm
my
angry about
God.
how Nigeria is, when I tell you that people are literally dying of hunger, I'm not kidding. These people have reduced the country to nothing. And then this woman comes out and testifies. So when my mom told me the story, I was like, how is that a testimony?
Exactly.
How is that a testimony? Oh, must you carry mic and come and talk in church? I don't understand. You watch somebody, you stabbed somebody, and I'm sure she feels, oh, that's not my responsibility. But what
Oh
did the
my
Bible say?
God.
What did the Bible say about feeding? He said, when I was hungry, you fed me. When I was hungry, Jesus said that. And I wondered, so since when did it become compulsory to come and show your shame in front of the church? So they woke this guy up and he did not wake up. By the time, of course, Lagos State Ambulance came and cleared him off.
Oh my
And of
God.
course, I'm sure his body will be used for some kind of
Of
experiment at
course.
Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, because clearly that person doesn't have a close family member that cared so much about him to ask him whether he was hungry or not. So this guy literally cried from hunger, and somebody is telling us not to get angry. The
Exactly.
people in the diaspora are angry because when I heard this story, I mean, tell me, this woman came and said, "Praise God, God did not put me in trouble. Oh, thank God that it was a stupid testimony, and people
That
were
was,
shouting
he should have
hallelujah."
thought somebody should have rushed that mic off her hand.
I tell you,
I'm even bothered that they even waited for her to land with the
I am
story.
telling you. I asked my mom, I said, "What did you do?" My mom said that, I'm an old woman. I just sat there and I was looking. What do you want me to do, my daughter? I said, "No, no, no. Somebody should have shouted and said, collect that mic for that woman."
You dive her and shot, take that mic away from her hand.
Exactly my point.
What kind
So
of nonsense story is that, for goodness sake?
people are I mean, they are dying from hunger. It is real. And these politicians, most of them are out of touch. I watch Arise. I mean, I had
Completely
to
out of
unsubscribe from
touch.
Arise at some point, but I watch them sometimes when I see them on my feed. But if you see the arrogance with which these people come on TV, and they'll be like, you they talk. Maybe you still they waka, you get leg. Maybe you still get 2009 model car where you they drive. You say you poor. Which
Wow.
time poor? They come with that kind of attitude. Another thing I wanted to quickly point out to you, Omoye, is that I was watching the video of Oji Uzokalo visiting Tinubu yesterday. And I watched as he bowed down to
Oh
Tinubu.
my God.
Did you see that video?
I
I was
saw
like,
a clip of I haven't gotten to, because there are a lot of
oh,
videos that I watched that I try to catch up on,
oh yes.
in the morning. Oh
Are
my
you
God.
on
He
Twitter?
bowed
Are
down
you
to
on
the
Twitter,
man.
Omoye? Are you on Twitter? Because when you get on Twitter, these videos are usually like a clip, very short. You will see the person
And
who's posting.
unfortunately, I'm not, that's one place I'm not on. Twitter
Oh,
or Facebook, I'm
I
not on
see.
those two.
I see. Some of these Obodoyibo people have even found me on Twitter, and I'm like, how did you find me? But I've seen some of them on Twitter,
Yeah,
and some of them are following me, and I've followed back. But I'm not that active on Twitter either.
right.
I'm active on LinkedIn and all of that, but on Twitter, I became active after hearing things like this, and they were bowing down to him. You can't greet Tinubu standing. Somebody has
Wow.
to bow to him before the person will now walk back. The way when they waka greet Queen of England. Now when we say now back person they take waka. After when you don't greet and finish, you person go bow down, give them. When they take leg, they waka back, they waka do slow motion, go sit down for seat. That's how Tinubu is greeted. Do you also know that he has a flag now that is dedicated to him, where they drew that 8 years? That 8 years on his cap. Of course, when he became the governor of Lagos State was when he started wearing that cap. So there's a flag. It is a white flag with the red eight. So the eight is inscribed with eight with a red color. And you know what I'm seeing? When Tinubu, God forbid, he will not become president. If he becomes president, what I suspect will happen or might happen is that, God forbid that we have North Korea case where they will now enlarge his picture and people will be bowing down before they enter the country.
That's what is going to happen. That's it. But
Exactly.
there's nothing. It is exact. This is what, see, when the voice of the people is so loud about
Mm-hmm.
a movement, because
Mm-hmm.
what people fail to understand about this movement is that it's not even about Peter Obi. Peter Obi is just the flesh that we are seeing. The
Absolutely.
movement, the force is bigger than him. If
The guy
the
is shocked.
people are
Oh yeah, the
behind,
guy. Even Peter will be the shock. I don't know whether you watched
exactly.
one of his speeches. There was one. I think it was in the one in Houston where he was talking, and at some point I heard clearly where he said something like, "Hey, I'm sorry." Even Peter is shocked. I heard Peter say, I heard it clearly. Hey, like when he saw, like
Overwhelming responses.
the guy is blown away by the
Yes,
love. The guy is blown away by the love. And you know what?
absolutely.
I just love this new generation, our generation. I love
Oh
us so
yeah.
much.
Oh
There
yeah.
is no tribe. When you talk to all those some older generation people, like from different tribes, they'll be like, "Oh, an Igbo person can never become president." I used to have like a mentor who is from another tribe, and she looked me in the eye and she said, I know you are Igbo, but you were born in Lagos. You're a Lagosian too, but I'll tell you, Igbo can never become president." And I asked her why. She said there was a time when Igbo people wanted to leave Nigeria. I said, okay, but they didn't let them leave, right? There was Biafra for a short while.
Yeah.
So because they wanted to leave at some point, and then you make them stay in a country, then you're going to punish them. Staying in
Exactly.
the country, you're going to deny them of their fundamental right and disenfranchise them from what is their right, even when we have a good candidate. Excuse me. That is what people like you and I and the people in our generation are not going to do. I
Of
won't
course not.
care if a good candidate is from Hausa Kingdom or whatever tribe. I'm going to vote for them because they're good at what they do, because they know what the problem is.
Of course.
Another thing, I want you to also consider, there's this channel called CT Niger. It is hosted by people, my beloved people from Edo State. There's this guy, he's a member of the PDP, but he's always on Twitter, on YouTube, shouting Peter Obi's praise. I noticed
I've
that
seen some of his videos, City Ninja.
City Niger, see that
Yeah.
guy? He has stopped making videos now because I think the pressure is getting to him. He came out and he said, the people in my party hate me now. They don't talk to me anymore. If I greet them, they don't answer because they feel like I'm supporting Obi. And he said something. He said, I'm not going to stop. But I've not heard him talk in the past how many days. There's this girl that he sends there, Nimat. Nimat is the one who does most of the
Yes,
talking.
I see Nimat now on
You
her
have seen
show. I
Nimat?
watch City Ninja, so I see, I know who you're talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you look at these people who are from another party to start with, and they are saying, hey, we are the ones who put Obaseki there as a PDP governor of
Yes,
Edo State. We know that the likes of Oshiomhole was trying to run Edo State like Lagos because he must
yes.
have gone to collect the handbook from Tinubu and
Mhm.
thought, okay, I can use this formula here with the imported wife that I have from Cape Verde. I'm
Exactly.
going to take care of this girl with all the money that I'm going to steal, and I'm going to make this girl stay with me forever because I don't even know what this girl sees.
And go and build magnificent palace in Seychelles for her.
Come pay for all in family school fees, pay for their mansion where then they live. People will be say they not see food job for Cape Verde before Oshomole go carry them come Bini. So at the end of the day, what the point this guy is trying to make is that this is a movement. Even PDP cannot stop it. But let us not be silent in prayer.
Yes.
I always tell my mom, I talk to her every day, and I'm like, have you prayed for Peter Obi today? Have you prayed for Gist Lover today? Those are the two people that I pray for that I've never met in my life.
Yes.
Those two people, I don't know who Gist Lover is, but I'm suspecting that she was born in the part of Lagos where I grew up because there's a certain way she writes her Yoruba. And I'm like, whoa, it's like this girl grew up in Pangrove. Those of us who grew up in Lagos, we know.
Oh
So,
my God, Ify. Let me address this Marriott's comment. One
yeah.
second. He said, sorry, I have a question. BA said, yeah, BO is a Peter Obi, full Peter Obi supporter. Oh. He made that comment. He was sentimental about something that had happened with the arrangement of the what's it called, of his visit. The people that were in charge of coordinating it,
Mhm.
I think he had an issue with them, with the way they went about it, which I also experienced when I went to LA. If I, but even with that, I was able to, like, rise above it, because at the end of the day, people are going to be people. It wasn't Peter Obi directly that he was offended by. He figured it was the people who arranged the event that he had a problem with at the end of the day. So that was that, Marriott. So because he was here yesterday and we talked about it, he came on the live. We're here for a while. So yeah, Ify, please, everything that you just said, let me tell you the truth. You see all these people that are coming to prophesy. Forgive
Mhm.
me, oh. Me, I know they pay attention to nobody. You know why? Because I this movement, to your point, is about action right now
Yes,
for me.
so yes,
We
so.
have you know how many prayer they don't pray for Nigeria. I
Mm,
grew up, we have a formatted prayer, primary school. They will
mm,
put us under the sun, assembly hall, we'll be praying, reciting prayer for Nigeria. I enter
mm,
secondary school, the same thing. I
mm,
beg. And even when I come, even when you go to anywhere you go to, they have gathering, they will say, let's pray for Nigeria. You know, since when it is action time. The prayers we've done, is
mm,
like, depositing money in the bank, as they say. The thing is overflowing. If we don't move, if we are not active, we will fall into the same old routine again. It's just that simple. You know, our people,
Absolutely, I
we are
agree.
very good at praying, we are very good at fasting. Now we they do 80 days fasting, 120 days. I don't know. People when they do them, I don't know as they say they do them, but I hear saying so they do them. This time around,
Mm.
it's about doing. You are putting your action behind your words. This one is not just, oh, I pray for them, let me stand aside. No, to tell you how important this movement is.
Mm.
Have you ever in your lifetime
Mm.
seen any church or any mosque or any group of people say,
Mhm.
these are the people, this is the person we are going to support? It has never happened. This man goes and visits these prayer homes, and people are crying, screaming when they
Mm.
see him. You think it's normal? It's not normal. What is behind that man is bigger than you and I, bigger than anything else. It's
Even
not
bigger
even
than
about
the
him,
man. I say,
bigger than him
Peter Obi say, hey. I mean, he said the hey. I think he didn't know that the microphone was
was
on.
on.
And then he was like, hey, the thing is more than him. But the reason why I said, we need to do both at the same time, simultaneously. I know that you're a Christian, and I mean, for our Muslim brothers who are here or sisters who are here, we have to do both. Let me tell you, Mama Mogaji, that's the one that adopted Tinubu. That woman gets people who scored 100 into Unilag. My roommate when I was in Unilag, Alaja, we call her Alaja. She was 18, but she had gone to Mecca like 2 times because the father was the one that hid Tinubu inside one room apartment in Ojuelegba when Abacha was looking for him during the Abiola saga and all of that. These people were dirt poor. Oh my, yeah, they were poor. Even when you hear Elijah speak and the father was the chief of Loma. If anybody's listening and you grew up in Lagos, you will know that Loma was started by Tinubu and Alaji far something. I can't remember this my roommate's last name, but if I remember it, I will mention because there are so many of those influential people that I stayed with in the same room in
Right.
Unilag when I was in Unilag. This
Okay.
girl got 100 out of 400 in JAM, and Tinubu's mother got her into school. In fact, Tinubu's mother doesn't leave the room where she sits. She makes calls, and it's another person that will place the call for her. And she'll be telling the person, bá mi sọ fún VC yẹn pé mo ní àwọn ọmọ bíi 30 tí mo fẹ́ kó wá. Wọn pass JAMB o. They did not pass JAMB, but they must enter school. I don't care how
Wow.
you choose to do it. So what am I saying in other words? This woman was not an ordinary human being. Now spirit, the time where she did alive. This woman don't chop plenty things. For all those where they hear me, that woman na spirit. The things where you don't give Tinubu chop before she say bye come on for this life. She was 90 something when she left this world. Don't play. Oh my, please don't play with what Gislova is saying, because me, I'm beginning to suspect that Gislova grew up in the same area. She has too much information. Because just like me, I can even start a blog now and start doing Gislova because there's so many things I know. And all those who watch Auntie B's show would know that I have plenty things that I know about these yeye people.
Mm-hmm.
If you know the thing where this woman don't give Tinubu chop before she waka, before Tinubu go come out, they talk, say he won't become president for the age of 87. You don't know, say he get something where he carry in mind, put.
I know. You see, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you can pray, but the part when they get problem with when they say when Nigeria hear prayer, they go drop action. That's the part I don't want.
Yes, na
You,
action, no.
you go
Yes,
they pray, you
na
go need
action.
to go see your action. You
Yes.
understand that? Whatever you they pray to that thing, they follow action back up. Because this one, there's no time of oh, you pray and you say I leave it unto God. Remember me.
Absolutely.
It can't
Absolutely.
happen,
Yep.
Maybe
Simultaneously.
I thought,
Is
let me
that
see.
Dio? That's
Brother
Dio,
Paul,
right?
welcome. Sorry,
Oh,
let me
Mr.
quickly
Paul.
address this comment. I thought it was Tinubu that visited Ojis Okalu. Ifi, he
No,
said,
what I heard was that it was Oji who came because Oji, was Tinubu, the way Tinubu sat down, the way somebody stood behind Tinubu, it looked like Oji was the one who came visiting. How can Tinubu go to Oji's house and be pulling his carrying leg, go up, they show him leg? It was just so convenient for Tinubu.
they might be there, they might be that close. Say you say bow down to her.
And he
So,
bowed down to Amo, not be smarty. I see that one yesterday.
so
No, Tinubu and Orji Okalu
Eh.
before they become governor, they both live in Ikoyi. So
Oh,
Ojizo Kalu said it. He said when he became governor, he said for 2 years his kids were still schooling in Lagos. They were living in Tinubu's house because they
ah,
couldn't relocate it back to the east.
are
So
you
they had
kidding me?
so they had good relationship as friends and as
Hmm.
neighbors. Yeah.
Okay, now I get it. Oh, because okay, so now be the time for payback, eh? So make Oji go help him carry votes come from southeast.
Now, so now.
What do you expect? Now business transaction. This is occupation for them. You
Oh, I
understand?
see.
It's not politics. It's occupation.
Wow, it's so amazing. They know everybody. It's like they know each other. All this, I don't like calling them elites. Elites. Even here in the United States, we know who the elites are. Is either you're an elite in entertainment, or you're an elite when you go better school for America, or you dey
Now,
work for a better place. Now, waiting
yeah,
they
I
call
think
elite be that. All
yeah, I
these
think
ones when-
I think
yeah.
where we get the mistake with elite, this word called elite, or you call people leaders. Nelson Mandela, before Nelson Mandela become president, he
Mm,
is already a leader. So when he become politician, that's why they still call him leader. You understand? Not people just go into politics because of they go into politics. We say our
mm,
political leader. They do.
mm,
Some people don't have the charisma. They don't have the talent, the gift. You
mhm,
understand? The way without. They just feel that I can use my money, or I know person that know person that know person. You understand?
mm.
Or Emilio Con, my community, my family name and everything. They just dabble themselves into politics. They don't really have anything to offer. And before you know, every one of us will call them leaders, people that cannot even convince one or two people, put together and everything. Then the Tinubu thing, I think every one of us have information, but
Mm,
I also have my own information. Let
mm,
me tell you some of my information, how Tinubu can easily, confidently, you understand, try to make the people understand. He went to Chicago State University, which he
mm.
does went to Chicago State University because Adiola Fayewu confirmed it, and truly he went. And also I confirm it from somebody which I would not like to say in public, but I can say it inbox. You understand? Because peradventure he might get this video.
Okay.
So Tinubu, what happened? Um, that's this Tinubu that we are talking about. We all know that Tinubu is not Tinubu. His name is
Of course.
Fatai something something.
No, I fit tell you in name. Make I tell you in full name. In full name na Yekini Ogunlere Amoda. Amoda is his name. So
So
please,
what?
for those
So
when they
what
pray for
happened?
make una not they pray against Tinubu na Amoda Ogunlere make una they call when
So
una they
what?
pray.
What happened is that one of the actually the Tinubu,
Mm-hmm.
eh, got a visa, got in a visa, got admission to Chicago State University, died.
Oh, we
Then
don't hear this story now. Just
so
lover shared this story. Yeah.
yeah, so then this visa thing is not like now and everything. So
Yeah.
Tinubu
Yeah.
catch in the opportunity and use that same slot. Then when you apply for schools in abroad, you just send your results down there, they approve it, and
Mm-hmm.
everything, use it, obtain his visa.
Of
So that's
course.
how Tinubu used that slot for that
Ori
mortgage.
Olori.
That people have been helping people. You understand? Have been helping, not today. So that's how he used that thing. So that's why
Ah.
Tinubu cannot be able to comfortable said, this is my primary school, because they'll say, who is your classmate? Because him and the Tinubu that died did not go to the same primary school, nor the
Mm.
same secondary school.
Yeah.
That's why he couldn't say, oh, I lost my result. Go and obtain another one. You know your primary school,
Yeah, go
you
back
know
to the
your secondary
school.
school. You
Exactly.
understand? So that's why he can push us fast forward to university, because actually the university can bring his pictures, they can bring his graduation, convocation grant, everything. They'll see that it's him that actually went to school, but
Mm.
it was not him. So, but then, like we living in the West, there's a way the West operates. The people that can really help us with this Tinubu thing, it's not you and I. The people that can help us, but to them, it become opportunity cost that they will gain from is the US Embassy. You understand? But they themselves too will also use it. You understand that Tinubu become president tomorrow, they might use it on him. If he's not playing to their own card, they say, okay, we can use these things to bring you down.
But
Because
he can't even enter America. Sure, he can't enter America. So
no. All those ones can be forgiven when you
yeah,
become
once he
president.
becomes president, he can enter, and that's what he
Yeah, because
wants.
you fly diplomatic. Once you carry diplomatic passport, even as at now, he can still enter America. If when he was governor, he can enter. Once they give you diplomatic passport, that clears you from anything. You understand? But if he carry Nigerian passport, that is when he may not want to enter.
So has he
You
lost his
understand?
diplomatic passport? I mean, he was once a governor twice. Does that mean because he has not been to America for a long time?
No. Because people abused it. When you become minister, ambassadors, governors, you get diplomatic passport. The day you leave office, automatically you lost that privilege.
Okay,
You don't carry it for life.
so Mr. Paul, are you following Gistlover? I am not following Gistlover, but I have all of Gistlover's gist because I have a friend who lives in the UK. She's an HR professional. She uses burner accounts on Instagram. So she sends me all the screenshots of Gistlover's gist. Everything Gistlover posts, I get it, I read it. And Gistlover mentioned yesterday in one of the posts that she made or he made. I think Gistlover is a woman, but you know, she was saying something about there's another reason why Tinubu wants to run for presidency is because he will get a diplomatic passport and he'll be able to enter America. And then he can actually get back, all the assets that was seized in 1993 due to his involvement in the Chicago crime family. There are two crime families that Tinubu was linked to in Chicago. And of course, I don't want to mention the things within they sell for there. Everybody know now that white.
No, all of us know now. All of us know now.
There's
All of
two
us
gang
know now.
members. So then collect $500,000 from Tinubu hand as of 1993. The value of that money today should be about $500 million. So Tinubu not done they count money, not be today. Because I remember you were saying something yesterday about how did he do it? How did he do it? He had to escape Nigeria in 1993 and stuff like that. If you read the whole of Gistlover's story, he studied there, and you confirmed it today that he studied in the Chicago State University.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, like I was saying to Omo here before you joined, the thing is, this younger generation, because of our access to information, we know all these things. It is us that need to now start telling these stories to our older parents that, hey, look at what Tinubu did some years ago, and he's still doing it now. Did you see what David Hondain released yesterday? Tinubu has a link to Barranquilla. Barranquilla is a location, I think in Mexico or Colombia. It's the deadliest area.
Whoa.
Tinubu transferred $4,500,000 and something $4.5 million to Barranquilla years ago. I think last year or 2 years ago. So what's the link between Alpha and Beta and Barranquilla? Tinubu owns Alpha and Beta in Lagos. Tinubu then, because our Nigerian people, except for those of us where they abroad here, they manage read. Most people where they Nigeria, if Gistlover not carry story, they don't get time to read 20 pages.
Even if they read, even if they believe, because of, you see, poverty have a way of make your reasoning so shallow.
Yeah.
What do I mean by that? So
yeah.
No matter how my community know me to be a very diabolic person, you understand, take advantage of so many people. But if I still give, people will celebrate me that I still give. You understand? So and Tinubu used that part very well. Tinubu is this very cheerful giver and everything, but failing to understand that it takes 100 from you and give you one back. You understand? So this is who he is, and our people, we are wired with this gift thing. So we appreciate people when we see people who give. We want to attribute them to some of our friends, some of our family that also give like that. Oh, he's a nice man. He's a giver. He helps. He listens. He everything. You want to use it to that other man. Say, oh, this man that gives. If he himself gives, then he's a good person. Failing to understand that.
The opportunity. One second, Dr. Ife. Give me 1 second. Let me address. Welcome to Niger. Hello, to Niger.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah. So we're talking about why APC and PDP candidates are not coming out to talk to us. We need to hear them. So I'm just kind of having this conversation so that we can, make demands. These people need to come out. We need to hear them. We have questions. Peter Obi has made himself available to all of us. Why is their own different? So that's what we're talking about. Do you have any points on
Mm.
that?
I think, yeah, thank you for having me, by the way. And you did hurt my feelings today earlier on, but it's all right. It's part of
I will hurt
conversation.
your feelings 1,000 times too, Niger, because let's not even go
Okay.
there on this life. You already
Okay.
know.
Okay. So, yeah, I think, okay, I forgot to greet greetings to other, panel members and viewers. The reason why they probably are not saying anything, one of them is partly because the Peter Obi's rise may not have been expected. In short, probably not expected.
Oh.
And also, they could be planning a strategy of hit and run. And yeah, because that could be what they could be doing, because it is more efficient to come in at a later stage, cause confusion, and hope that the infrastructure they have on the ground will allow them to win. And this is what I would do if I was the one, if I was on the other side. So Peter Obi needs to anticipate that. And this is what I feel is going to happen. And once the campaign kicks off, it may not even happen in the immediate, immediately. It may, because the way these things work is that when your popularity is rising, it's like it rises like a wave. It comes down, it goes up, it comes down, and who catches the wave at the top gets the best outcome for themselves. And now they know that Peter Obi is on the rise constantly, and they will want to knock him down at the if crucial time. And these will have money, they have resources, and Tinubu, you can accuse him of whatever you like, but that guy understands how to wield power, and in the right time, he might strike.
What do
But
you mean he understands how to willpower? What do you mean when you say that?
to willpower to favor himself, yeah, in terms of controlling people to do what he wants for himself. And clearly, he's proven to be able to do that. You saw how those governors were giving him way to become this a candidate of the party. So one cannot necessarily
Did they give
underestimate that.
way or did he buy himself
Either
into it?
way, he bought it or he cajoled
So
them or
he
he made
didn't
them
will
so that
it. He did not will it. If you're buying it, your way into a particular position, you're not willing it.
his will
You
is
don't have any
being done.
psychological strength to will it.
Yeah, his will is being done. That is the point. If you can
Okay.
get your will to be made manifest, then you have gotten your way. And that is what he did. And what I feel like, if you want to combat somebody like that, you want to, be prepared for whatever they come at you with, you go aggressive against them and
Exactly.
not let them eat not 1 second, because sometimes what you see in political campaigns is that one other side will attack you. It takes 3 days for the other side to respond. If you do that with someone like Tinubu, you might pay for it.
Yes,
And
I
so
agree.
you have to react very, very quickly. So that's why I think they may not be saying anything. They are going to be doing a lot of research now to find all kinds of dirty linens and all the rest. Believe you me, it's going to get muddy.
Yeah, I know it's going to get muddy. Personally, I'm ready, but I know that the Peter Obi's team is also ready. A lot of people are ready
But
now.
dirty linen on who? Who's
Exactly.
dirty
They will
linen are
dig.
they
They
gonna
can't
air?
find anything on Peter Obi, but they're going to flip. You know how they make up stories, right? They're going to
Mhm.
look for ways to make up stories and all of that, but none of it is going to stick. And also the PDP, the candidate of the PDP and the APC, they don't give interviews. They are using mouthpieces.
I stand to be. I mean, I feel I stand to be corrected if I disagree with you. I mean, Atiku they try small. I'm not even kidding. At least
How
when I
many
say
times you
when I say
don't
try
show up? Oh?
small by Tinubu standard, okay?
How
Mm.
many times though? Apart from that one time when they do curated interview for him with Dr. Ruben
If he,
and the
if he,
other
if
girl.
you on that part, I think you yourself too, you're wrong. Atiku is also running away. What they do, they
Exactly.
just
They
Mhm.
do
they just only
curated
send their
interview for
surrogate.
Atiku.
You understand? They send their
Curated, they
surrogate.
select the question. Even you go, even as you they listen to the interview, you go see whether they cut join.
No,
Yeah.
yeah,
Some
I know
response
that
is not
one.
the flow.
Yeah. I get that one. And please, you guys need to understand that I am sarcastic most of the time when I talk about PDP people and APC. So I would need you to appreciate my sarcasm a little bit. And the reason why I said this is because you see somebody like Atiku Webi say he lives in Dubai and he still managed to come for the NBA conference. And then you see somebody who lives in Bodilon, who's like 10 minutes away. Again, I'm going to mention, there's this program they call Aside Hot on Wazobia TV.
Yeah, I've bumped into that a few times.
Do you know Uncle Jimmy? Uncle Jimmy comes there to talk every Monday. And he said something. He said the thing that is wrong with Tinubu comes and goes. He said what happened that day was that Tinubu really wanted to come, but the thing held him down. Whether it is stroke or is it blood pressure, I don't know what it is. And so Tinubu couldn't make it, clearly. He was saying, see, I might be wrong. This is just me being hypothetical. This was, he said, this might have happened. Hey, Tinubu couldn't make it out. They couldn't hold his 2 hands and legs to walk. And so somebody called the one from the north and say, hey, we'll fly you down with a private jet. Do you have a coat? Or do you have a suit? And the guy said, no, I have a coat. And this is me, on a lighter note, but that's exactly what might have happened. And that's why we had somebody wearing, a gym training sneakers on top of coats and coming down with a tie that's as wide as Gele to come and represent his principle.
If are you saying Nigeria have become America now, where one place is 116 degrees, the other place is 32 degrees, that somebody will wear a coat.
Well, you saw did you not see the coat he was wearing? No, but that was a coat. That's not a suit. So nobody can tell me that's a suit.
Coat plus trainers.
to be fair to the guy, I think this guy was saying that was deliberately done. He when I checked online, he was wearing that type of coat previously, so I don't know whether that's not his style.
Well, I think the guy has never owned a suit in his life. He wears the Babariga, and
No, he does. He work in Zenith Bank. He work in Zenith Bank to the top, so he does. You understand? But this Nigerian big manism where every human being have area of strength and area of weakness. Mm-hmm. You understand? But this, when you big to certain level, there are things you do that your PA can just say, boss, no, I don't think you want to go with this. And every other thing. That it might just cost that person his job. So this big manism, and these people, they live in so many places. So probably maybe where he's coming from, he just run around and find something to wear. You understand? They have all these their hotel here. Probably maybe Babariga is everywhere. He just saw that one and take it.
Mr.
You understand? Plus his trainers for gym.
Watch Uncle Jimmy. Please watch Uncle Jimmy, because I think what happened exactly was what Uncle Jimmy said. He said Tinubu was actually planning to come, but he was very ill on that particular day. And that's why if Nigerians vote this guy in, we're going to have a case that is worse.
If he on that part, you're right. But let me make you understand something. One of the things that make people like Tinubu will not want to come to public is a strategy and is a calculative step. Understand something? Let me give some examples. If, for example, now I'm a comedian or an MC, and you want me to come perform in your show, and I say, oh, sorry, I won't make it, but I will recommend somebody better for you. And you said, okay.
Yeah.
And I recommend that person for you. Funny enough, I came to your event, but I was not the one participating. You understand? Because I'm on ground in that event. And the person messed up completely. Then the same me walk up to you that, oh, I'm sorry. But you know what? Next time when you want to do another event, invite me. I don't know what you say. Because Tinubu is on ground. He's the one that give us Buhari. And he's on ground. Not that he traveled to Dubai. So Buhari messed up. What did he want to say? So he's running away from press because people will always use those things on him. You understand? So he's just running. So what they use, they use
how
surrogate.
Long is he going to run away, Mr. Paul?
So what they do, they just use surrogate to use Lagos. Oh, I perform. Everything Lagos have, you understand? It's not about Fashola for 8 years. It's not about Ambode for 4 years. It's not about Sanwo-Olu for almost 4 years. It looked like Tinubu is governor since 1999 to 2022. You understand? So they just do, okay, what is in my resume to sell? Let's just use it. So what they said is just Lagos.
I'm sorry to cut in. How long is he going to run for? It's like they say to you that, hey, you see this course, you need this course to graduate to 200 level in the university, and you have to write it. And every time you come up, you're like, oh, I have a headache today, tomorrow, my leg, they pain me. You're still going to write that exam, whether you like it or not. Are they trying to tell me that when somebody like Rufai and the guy on channels, Sheung, By the time because I heard they're the ones who are going to be in charge of the debate this year. So when they say Tinubu show, Tinubu is not going to show for that debate.
No. You remember that Buhari did not show and nearly everything. Atiku too. You remember? It's a strategy. So what they're waiting, they'll be waiting for somebody like Obi to be coming every other day and watch all his interview and find one or two flocks. Then strive on it. It's just a strategy for them. But that is the height of stupidity.
Absolutely.
You understand? It is the height of stupidity.
I agree with you. I don't know. There's a fourth person with us. I can't see his name, but he mentioned something. I wanted to quickly say that.
Niger, that's his name.
Niger, he was saying something about Tinubu is very dangerous. You have to, when he attacks you, you don't wait for 3 days. They make this guy look like he's, one mini god, one demigod. Like, even powerful men make mistakes. And I want to make it clear, although I know that he's a very dangerous man, anybody who fails to bow out when the ovation is loudest, will have themselves to blame. I think Tinubu miscalculated this thing, that this presidential bid that he decided to go for. He miscalculated. He should have remained the kingmaker. He should have remained the kingmaker. This is going to be the biggest mistake he'll ever make in his life. We know he's powerful, but all of those machination and permutation, all those things are going to fail him. We're here together. We will see. Yeah, we'll see.
I think for me, him running for office is quite almost a vain pursuit. That's because there's no way he can be the only one that can do the job. He could have mentored somebody to do the job, and he's quite elderly, so I fault him for that one.
Yes.
The reason why I say this is because about responding quickly, because I've seen it in political cycles where somebody. A war hero was made to look like a traitor to the country, while the one that is a traitor was made to look like a hero, because the war hero wasn't very, very active in responding quickly. And because when it start happening, they will just be slinging lies all over the place. Like they will make Peter Obi look like he just robbed the bank, and literally. And Peter Obi his character is to be gentle, and he cannot afford that.
Mr. Tunaija, we go do him for him. We go do him for him.
He needs to come out himself, because when they try to attack Obama like that, what they did with the other, what's his name again, John Kerry.
Yeah.
When they tried to do it to Obama responded immediately. He heard when he was calling Sarah Palin pig on a lipstick or whatever they call it.
Oh, that's John McCain. You mean John McCain? John McCain's
because he's VP. Yeah. John McCain's running mate was Sarah Palin.
Sarah Palin, yeah.
So he attacked her immediately. The moment she attacked him, he attacked her back. Because you have to play dirty with these other people very quickly. Otherwise, you just paint a narrative of you.
Yes, I agree. I agree with that. With that sentiment to Niger. I totally, because these people were the kind of people we're dealing with. We have to understand it. Their track record. They have dealt bullishly and evil in their evil ways with us. We cannot afford to just gloss it over, gentle. If the man, the candidate, if he doesn't respond, we will do it for him, because the truth is we can't afford it. This is too expensive for us to just let it slide.
Yeah,
welcome, Mr. Andrew. Thanks for joining us this evening. We're talking about why APC and PDP candidates are not talking to us, and us having to get the opportunity to ask them tough questions like they've been asking Peter Obi. That's what we're discussing this evening. What's your take on it, sir?
Yeah, good evening. Thanks for allowing me in. Why they are not talking to us? Well, they will have a defense by saying that they are not obliged to talk to anybody. However, it's the upstream media that should ought to go ahead to arrange for this interview. For example, when they were invited to the NBA, I mean, those who they are not obliged to come, but it's a good opportunity for them to further showcase their profile, and those who came, and those who did not or choose not to. No, so, like I've said previously, and I'll repeat again, I don't think any one of them ever imagined, even we ourselves ever imagined the movement or the to be what it is today. And so it's a shock to them, and it's going to take a while for them to really recover and find their bearing. And I acknowledge the fact that they have money, without a shadow of doubt. But at the same time, I will keep saying that you may have the money, but if you don't have the people, it's going to be a very big problem. So
And on
if
top of that, there are a lot of people rejecting the money, even the people that they're trying to, give the money to campaign for them or say one or two things for them. People are rejecting it. The likes of Peter Doce, we know about. The likes of what's his name, Osofia in London. I don't know. I never know his real name. There are people who are rejecting the money that
Ikemowo.
they're being given.
Ikemowo.
Nkemowo,
yeah,
Nkame, yes, Mr. Nkemowo,
and
exactly.
Kanayo, all of those people
Kanayo,
reject it.
Kanayo, yes,
they don't
yes.
have a choice than to reject it, because we all have seen what it is like when we sell our vote. If the vote, our vote, it doesn't matter, but our vote really matters. Recently, I put out a post when I find out exactly the what really happens when we sell our vote, and that is what has put us where we are today. I look at the when Judas betrayed Jesus Christ. It is not about Judas betraying Jesus Christ. It is beyond that, because Judas made a statement. He said, "I have betrayed the innocent blood for collecting money to betray him." So when we sell our vote, or the vote we've sold in the past, it's betraying the innocent blood, and these innocent ones are those who are not eligible to vote from 0 to 18 years, and those who have not been born, because the moment we sell our vote,
Mm.
they will be the one to come to suffer the consequences. So they trust us to do right by them, because just like our children, our family trusts us to do right by them, to do the right decision. That is the scary part of when we sell our vote, and that is what has put us where we are today. Because if the man gives me a bag of rice, or he gave me money equivalent to a bag of rice, you all know that I can't eat that bag of rice for 4 years. Maybe just 1 week, depending on how large my family is. Maybe 1 week. And after 1 week, that's it, it's gone. I can't go back to him and say, "Oh, my bag of rice are finished." He's gonna tell me to go to hell. The contract I signed with you, give me your vote, I give you a bag of rice. It's gonna be there for 4 good years, and I will suffer the consequences. And that is what has happened to Nigeria. And thank God we've woken up, that we're not going to sell our vote again, because it matters. And that, I mean, they're not going to talk to us. So don't expect them to talk to us. It's not going to happen. And up soon the campaign will kick off. Then everything will come into limelight. Then we'll see who wants to come out, and who don't. Believe me or not, somebody said made a statement in Nigeria, which I kind of agree with, that if Tinubu or Atiku, any person, become president, that means God wants to punish us. Which I agree with that sentiment, that because I've said it, Atiku is compromised.
I'm not even going to visit Nigeria again if Tinubu wins, because you know what? Tinubu has seen all my Twitter, everything. I mean, I send him direct messages all the time. And my friend in the UK called me and said, "Hey, Former, don't do that again." And I'm like, "I don't care. I won't go to Nigeria again. Noni. He will not see me again. Because if that guy wins, those are the kind of guys that will plant all these bad guys at the airport and say, "Hey, once we enter, I'm in carry and come." I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't know. I'm not, I don't know what Tinubu is capable of. We're dealing with a very dangerous person here. This is a man who is going to turn Nigeria into North Korea. People will have to be bowing down to his pictures and his graven image when he becomes president. There is no doubt about it. So, Mr. Andrew, you are very right. When somebody like Charlie Boy comes out and says, he's sorry to this generation. I have a very old friend, he's in his 60s, he lives in the UK, and he will beg me all the time, I'm sorry, we messed up. I didn't understand what all the apologies was about until I realized that he's saying he's sorry because they feel like they didn't do enough, which they did not do. The generation of our parents didn't do enough. There was this docility about everything. There was this passivity about everything. We have to just, follow our leaders, whatever they say. Don't shout at your leaders. Don't do these things. Our generations don't care. The other day they were on, I think, Facebook insulting Ojus Okalu. And Ojus Okalu was telling the young people, you guys insult people too much. You guys should come to us and we'll teach you how to be successful. And one of the young people said, hey, you can't teach us how to be successful. You've been in jail for a long time before you were released. You're a thief. This generation is different. And I'm happy that we're doing something about it. Our parents didn't do nada. They sat there and watched as the nation got, embezzled to the ground. And that's why we're saying, that's why people like Omoye are doing what they're doing. That's why Andrew is here, Tunaija is here, Mr. Paul is here. That's why we're talking. And we have to take this message home and tell people, hey, tell a friend to tell their mother that they can vote. There was an old man on Kilaribo TV who was saying if he doesn't vote Peter Obi, God should not let him enter heaven. That's a Muslim. They don't play with Al-Jannah. And he said, see, if I don't vote for Peter Obi, God should please shut the gate of heavens to me. Let me rot in the other side. I checked out that man's age. I looked at his face. He should be in his 70s. We want more people like that. People who are thinking deeply and understanding that they owe us a great life. And we in turn owe the people who have not been born and those who are under 18 to make this change happen. So I think I've said my mind, and I'm sure some people are joining. I'm just gonna say bye-bye now, but I'll be on the background watching. It was nice.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ife. Thank you for your awesome contributions as always. We have to keep this moving forward because I am just like waiting patiently and doing what I can, to put out information because we can't afford, I don't even see it. 6 months is even too much the way it is. People are hungry every single day. Imagine the story we just heard right now, you know, um, about what am I, who else joined? Somebody else joined. Okay. All right.
Yeah, sorry, I'm the one that joined. I changed the system, so I've
Oh,
left
okay.
the.
All right.
I
No
changed the
worries.
system.
It's sad what is going on. Imagine the story Dr. Ife shared with us earlier about somebody hungry going to a restaurant. They didn't give him food, and the man just put his head down, and that was the end of him. People are literally deleting because they cannot eat. Eh? When did we get, even when Nigeria was that bad, when I remember using sawdust to cook, it was not, there was food. People had farms that you could go and plant your food and eat, even if you don't get money for pocket, but you will have food in your stomach. We can't afford it. I'm really sorry. If God,
Omoye,
I
when people call you from the village, they call you that, oh, so person is sick. They want to rush him to UBTH. They want to rush him to hospital. They don't call you for feeding because they have food. You understand? They
exactly,
call you and say, so person picking don't get admission or to go school. I beg, help us.
exactly.
This is what you hear. But I can tell you now, do you know very many of my friends, people who grew up, some of my old colleagues back then in Nigeria, many of them right now, as I'm telling you, don't know my name. It's so funny when I tell some of them that they don't know my name, or guy, chairman, chief. They give me all type of title. They place all type of respect. And I tell them, I said, I'm losing my relationship with you. Come on, argue with me. I cannot say I support Chelsea, you, and I'm seeing you all your Facebook, Instagram. You are a strong supporter of Man United. But because of that little thing you want to get from me, if I support Chelsea, you join me support Chelsea. This is where Nigeria has become. And I feel for the country. We just need to get it right for once. And I just think the Obi thing is just like the Obama, because truth be told, if you really look Obama, he was only 6 months as a senator. In as much as we call him
Right,
senator, only
right,
6 months as a
right.
senator. So he just started like a joke, like a joke, like a joke. Like I said all the time, one step at a time, one step at a time. You get there. The country is so bad in all ramification. If
Yes.
every one of us that happen to had one or two professions in Nigeria before we came here, if every one of us want to talk about our profession, the one that is a lawyer will tell you about that industry, the one that is a doctor, the one that is an engineer, the one that is this, you will shake your head. If I tell you the aviation industry, you will shake your head. No airline will survive in Nigeria, Nigerian airline, none. Almighty Aero contractor shut down. It shocks me. You know why? Aero has been there where Almighty Nigeria Airways go down, Okada Airline go down, Dabo, all the big airline, they come, they go. But Aero couldn't survive Buhari. They fail, they fall. You understand? This is the
Mm.
height. Because some of us don't really understand. I believe everywhere we understand, like I said, your own industry, you know better because you are an
Right.
insider. People don't understand that if Airpeace can carry passenger for 50,000, 100,000, convert those money to dollar. The way the aircraft work, you fly certain miles, you must go for C check. They can do their A check in Nigeria. These days now, they can't even do B check in Nigeria. Talk less of C check. That will take this aircraft out. You understand? If they want to
Mm.
cut costs to the barest minimum, then they'll go to Ethiopia, they go to South Africa, or they come all the way to America or UK for C check. So if you convert people that is making naira to go service aircraft in dollar, just service. Now we are not talking about what about when you want to buy parts? What about when something go wrong and the likes? You understand? So which business will survive? So when Nigeria Airways was there, they do up to C check in Nigeria Airways hangar. But so if you can't even do those checks, you can't survive. You understand? So Hero was managing, they can do A check, they can do B check. Today, nothing. This is how somebody will come as a doctor will tell you things. So every sectors of that country is diminishing. You understand? And all our best brains is leaving. If I tell you my story, how I find myself in America, you will shock. I could remember back then when they call me, my nickname back then, the people that I work with. You see this thing that we say, big man, our Ghana, big man, he get power, he get
Mhm.
juju. Omo yen alayo. Sometimes we celebrate these people born them. You
Of course.
understand? I have one small privilege working with all those big, or God, they pride themselves, or Boni, they pride themselves. At the airport there, you see all type of thing. You see tortoise, you see this, you see that, and it. I was just being lucky that my mother can speak Ilaje, speak Ijebu, speak Yoruba. So I threatened them, say, me, I need to carry on there, I need to carry juju for body. Now my mama wala, now my grandmama wala. So they kind of like me. They punish me so much. In fact, my nickname is lavatory engineer. All I do in aircraft is go and service the toilet whenever the toilet blocked. But this is how I grow. Today now look, all our best brains. If I want to talk to anybody that is doing well, is in Emirates, is in Qatar, is in Delta, is in Southwest, is in this. You can't see anyone except those that fail or those that are making backdoor money. You understand? I don't even have
Right.
peace of mind. Because at the end of the day, when you are making backdoor money, you spend too much, you send your kids to school that is bigger than your salary. The day they close that loophole, your life will just be so shattered. So these are all the things. We just need to get the country right. Every one of us try as much as possible to help our siblings here, people that will make our country great. We are bringing them here to come and become what? Second fiddle.
Mm-hmm.
And you see the same people will tell you Atiku this, Atiku that. If Atiku is doing well as a successful businessman, well, bravo, we thank God, we agree. How come none of his business is in the Nigerian Stock Exchange? Because they
Thank
don't want
you.
anybody to audit
Great
them.
question.
They don't want anybody to check them. They don't want anybody to do.
Mm.
These people are not making any profit in their business. They only bring new money into their business, laundering. That's why they want to
Serious
die in
laundry.
politics. They don't.
Mm.
Their businesses does not bring any profit. If the alphabet in Lagos can manage Lagos state funds very well, how come they don't carry the same company go manage Abia state money? How come they didn't go manage Ogun state money? How come they didn't go manage Kano state money? How come they didn't go to Togo, South Africa? How come we can see Total in Nigeria, we can see Shell in Nigeria? Multinationals will scarf, go to other countries. If your business is doing well, cool. We see banks like GT Bank, they're doing well. They are all African countries today. They are even in
Mhm.
UK. You understand? We see Access Bank, we see Zenith Bank, they are moving. Go. If your business is doing well, like I tell people, oh, Dangote, they do well. How come would they see they buy this, like I would say, mortuary yam? Why Dangote no can set up farm for America? If 20
Exactly.
million Nigerians is in America, come set up farm, come set sugar for America. They don't want anybody to check and balance them. You
Yes.
understand? They don't want anybody. They just like this comfort of the biggest title, big man. Look at Tiku the other day. Somebody there and put seat belt in car. That's not the person who won't vote for. You understand? I just that is the height of, I get tired when we talk this Nigerian thing. I get tired.
Uh,
Mm.
the problem with most of our, at least anyway, from my point of view, most of these leaders is that they are all not like people that see Nigeria as their home or a place where they really need to run for, for the future of their children. And this, they are there serving other people. This is why he's not in the country. In the case of Atiku, he's often in Dubai. The other one is often, in short, most of our leaders, to be fair, even Peter Obi, let's face it, he's got his family overseas too. So we have, I think, somewhere along the line, we as a people, some of us anyway, especially the elites, middle class and the elites, have considered that in our hearts, somewhere in there, that the Europeans are better, and there's something about them that we want to be like, and then we should cede that to them. We just never got out of that mentality, and it is tied to the religion too, to an extent. But now it's no longer as much anymore because religion, to an extent, is losing its power among the south of Nigeria. So it's that thing that we feel like these people are better, so we should toe their line. And when I hear Nigerians talk all the time, they talk about the UN, the Millennium Development Goals, all the standards that are set by people outside of their countries. And I personally, I was like that too. When I was in Nigeria, I hated so many things about our leaders and all the stuff that they were doing. But there is a difference between hating what is going on in your country and realizing where to draw the line. Where the people, you are in part of the same family now, and yeah, you have black sheeps in your family, but you have to deal with them. And to be fair, even that black sheep thing is just part of this whole narrative where everything black is bad, Satan is black, and the angel is white, kind of mentality. So I don't subscribe to this sort of narrative because that's why I say we should protect our leaders. Like someone like Peter Obina, I am very concerned about him because he walks around as if the angels are protecting him. I don't like that idea. For me, people always talk about other form of stuff. For my own focus is the force power. I always watch out the people that can wield force in your country and within your territory. They can change the fate of that country very easily. And when your presidential candidate that everybody's having a hope for is walking around without security, I don't find that funny. And the other day, somebody was saying, "Why are you worrying too much about that? That Americans don't have security?" I was like, "Yeah, they do." And I just showed him a picture of Nancy Pelosi. I say, "She's got security. Whenever you don't see security, because everywhere around them is already protected. That's when you don't see security." So we can't. And our leaders, what they've done now is that they've decided that the people that are going to be protecting us are the English, the UK, and the US. That is what they've done in reality. This is why whenever anything happens, they run to the US and they run to the UK to come and save us. And maybe the election, some people have already said the election has already been decided. Someone like Ovie believes that these things have already been decided. We don't even have a choice in it. If Peter Obi is going to be president, he's going to be president. We like it or not. And
Oh,
the question you have to ask yourself is, where is the line between any of these candidates? Where do they really put us first, other than the people that they they go to for support? Do they put us first, or do they put those people first? any of them. And Omoy, I will ask you this one directly because I know you are very, very passionate about Peter Obi. Do you think Peter Obi will put us first, or
I 100% believe that he's going to put us first. I 100% believe that his interest is to the people that are rallied around him. I 100% believe that. You have to understand, this is the first time we're having a leader who can speak to you directly and speak to me directly. When I mean directly, take the time to make the turns, to see and make sure that he speaks. 1 second, the alarm, I think it's the heat. It's really hot over here. It's like 116. Hold on. This can talk amongst. Let me turn off the alarm here. Okay, it's outside. Never mind. They're just alerting that the heat is high. Anyway, so he's the only one that has gone around to express his intentions clearly to us. That's why I asked the question, why are these other candidates, APC and PDP, not making the same rounds? Why? He's the only one that has made it clear to me. He's the only one that I can say his approach, he's relatable. I understand what he wants to do. Okay, I understand he has an interest in security. He has an interest in ensuring that the security is taken care of.
we can't hear you.
1 second, guys.
Um, Hello, Paul. Is that you?
Yeah, it's me, Paul.
Yeah, I didn't recognize you. Maybe your name was even on the image. Greetings. So nice to meet you here.
Yeah, my brother, I greet you. I greet you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Omoye
think,
was giving me trouble this evening, and
and yeah, to Nigeria, I think the part that you fight Omoye about Obi with security, you're 100% right. I think he's this heavily minded and earthly foolish. He's catching up with Obi.
mm,
That is fully protected. He's come from a serious religious family. Sister is a reverend,
mm,
reverend father, brother,
mm,
reverend father, and every other thing. My brother, those things are nonsense. You have to protect yourself. Look, when you see the
mm,
so-called Nancy Pelosi, the Obama, them, they ride bicycle and everything. We can tell you
mm.
that everybody you see them, may just be FBI. You
Exactly.
understand? Everywhere is
Mm,
completely combed. It's just script like the way we watch movie on the road
mm,
that they already combed
exactly.
the area. So you can't see just pass by any other will obstruct the movie. You understand? They edit
Mm,
that part immediately. So
yeah.
Obi needs to really protect himself. We cannot use God to protect ourselves because God protects every one of us. You understand?
Exactly.
And one thing God really respects with human being, we can see it with Solomon. When Solomon asked for wisdom, knowledge, and a better understanding, God give to him. You
Yeah.
understand? But when Solomon
Mm,
also abused it, well, it's up to him because God
mm,
respects us. He creates us in his own image and likeness. So we have
yeah.
the ability to also do things. But I know my Christian people hate those parts. If you read about Francis Bacon, he said something. He said, when we read our Bible, we say, God created man in his own image and likeness. But Bacon said, man created God in his own image and likeness. Completely from where we come from in Africa, look at India. And everybody creates their own God, their small God. Put Ogogoro there. Start
Mm,
worshiping it. You understand?
exactly.
But on the flip side, on the West, they made us understand that God created us. You
Yeah.
understand? But
Yeah.
Backum said, we, and truly, we are, even in Catholic, you understand? You see 2,000 years pictures in the church. You understand? A
Mm,
Catholic man, you see his car, the cross, the rosaries in his car, in his office, in his church, in his neck, everywhere. You understand? It's their own image too. You
mm,
understand? So, but at the end of the day, physically, you have to protect yourself because even Christ make better mention of Caesar. Give what belongs to Caesar to Caesar. So, if you want to rule Caesar's government, use the strategy that that government
mm.
used to also play the game.
If,
Because
if I was to vote somebody in this election, if I, let's say this guy had a chance, and I hope that Peter, I don't think Peter Obi will consider him. Uh, I don't know whether you've watched the interviews of Al Mustafa. This man is the only man that is calling out the BS that is going on at the top.
To
He is the
Nigeria.
only one. Yeah.
Forefather. You know, when
Mhm.
you want to talk Al Mustafa is synonymous to Peter Obi. You understand? Peter Obi may be a good person, but why Peter Obi is driving fast is an orator. He knows how to use his word. You
Mm.
understand? And he had this advantage of, like in politics 101, like they said, minority, we have their say, majority, we have their way. You understand? Because if,
Mm.
if they oppress you, you cry, you whine, you complain all the time. So when you see America today, what do you see? You see African Americans, they complain, they are the minority. You see the Mexicans, the Latinos, they complain because they're the minority. The white people don't talk much because they are the oppressors. These are the people that will have their
No,
way
but
at the
Al
end of the day.
Mustafa seems like he's anti-Western, and Peter Obi is not. You see,
No,
that's the
no,
thing.
no. On our Mustafa aspect, what I'm saying is that he's an orator. He knows how to use his word very well. You
Oh,
understand? So he can
what?
convince anybody.
So you
He knows
think
how
that
to use his word.
he's just, but he's an ex-military major. I don't know whether he's a massive, highly qualified maneuvering kind of person. So, and to be fair, I don't know whether my judgment is very good, but I've watched a lot of political speakers, and I know when somebody is just trying to, say so, and he presents evidence though. And he also supposed a narrative where he talked about how people that are giving weapons to Boko Haram and all those type of things, even the Buhari government has accused the French of doing that before. So it's not something that is completely
They remember
outlandish.
what's going on. It's crazy. We're
Mm,
waiting for 911 to get here and talk to us because everybody's alarm has got, the sky is like blood red,
oh my.
literally.
Omoye, they
That's
see
how.
audio fire. I mean, they look TV. We see everything now. But I just laugh, Omoye, when you keep complaining this 112, 116, 117. I know you
In
guys
this
hit 117
Brazil.
today. Remember, I'm in Arizona. We do 120, 122.
Oh my God, I
You understand?
forgot. True. What is it over there right now?
Today we do 109 today.
Okay, here it's like 116, and right
116
now
today,
it's
yeah.
115. It's that's I've never experienced the heat like this.
Wow.
It's
So
crazy.
the heat is setting off the alarm.
Yeah, it's setting off everybody's alarm because they had sent like a warning
For
earlier.
people to turn off
Emergency,
their AC and the likes to reduce
yeah,
their power. Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that, right? So then shortly after, all the alarms just started going off. I'm like, what did they happen? Look, we run. I don't wear my running shoes.
But you don't, Omoye, you don't have the mobile AC at home.
I have AC. The AC is on, but when that energy warning came, I said, okay, well, let me turn it off a little bit. For
That's why I'm asking whether you don't have the mobile. Like if you have the mobile, you
Oh,
turn the big one, then use the
I
mobile one.
don't. I should invest in one, really. After this, I have to. This is crazy. You know, this is crazy. But anyway, this is great conversation, guys. I really appreciate you guys taking. What does Marriott mean by heavenly minded earthly food? Well, POB lives in white Jesus. I don't know about that too. Me, I don't know about that. Me, I don't hold people accountable for what they believe. Choose to believe in. Do you do what makes you comfortable? I don't
No,
believe
no,
in.
Omoye, you see, from my name, you also know where I come from in terms of religion. I'm a Christian. But you see, like I tell people when I talk to my siblings, I say it all the time. And my siblings, they hate it mostly when I come online like this and say that now church people kill my mama. I so much love that woman. I feel bad that I
Hmm.
never bought the cheapest thing that this woman asked me before she died, just to buy her a B2. I couldn't buy that B2. I feel so bad.
Oh, I'm so
Church
sorry
people
to
kill
hear
my.
that, Paul.
You see, Omoya, you see, the Bible said it clearly. He said, when I was a child, I think like a child. But he said, when I become adult, he didn't say I think like adult. He said I put away childish things. Simply mean you take away sentiment. The
Right.
alarm cannot wake me up every day that I go to work 3:50 a.m. and I wake up and I tell myself, like, say, I want to sleep. Me, I didn't wake up. Oh, remember, alarm forced me wake up. Then I close my eyes and I do, Father, in the name of Jesus. Won't I go back to bed? Let's tell ourselves the truth. You understand? So he said, I'm brushing my teeth, I take my prayer, or as I'm driving out. While I'm driving, I take my prayer. But
Mm.
we are trained as a child that you want to pray, you must close your eye. You understand? But now we're getting to the level where we put away childish thing, because even pastor in church that say close your eye, that is laying hands on people, his eyes is open before he
Mm,
lays his hand on people. So you put away childish things. It did not. The Bible did not say I become adult, because some of us adults still behave like a child.
right.
You understand? So you put away childish things, which means you take away sentiment. So we can be Christian. That's why the funny joke we say in Wari, they say God for all. You understand? Then
Right.
for one, you go find a way to protect yourself. You understand? So protecting yourself, it costs a lot when it comes to security. It costs a lot because it can affect a whole nation, one person. It can affect a whole nation. You
When
understand?
when
So
you are praying, how
yeah.
does your Jesus in your mind? How does your Jesus look? Does it look like a Nordic blonde, blue-eyed guy, or
Mr.
look
Paul.
like or
My
look
brother,
like a black man?
you
No,
don't go this religion too much. I beg, forefather.
you started it. You started it. You are the one talking about how you are praying with your eyes open and all the rest of it. I was just wondering what kind of Jesus you are praying to, or the God you are praying to, how he looks. So because these
Well,
things,
well, well, when I call prayer, we all understand there's something called supreme being. And when we call prayer and everything, I pray, you understand? I speak, my prayer simply means I speak positive things to myself. You understand? I don't just follow. I'm not a follower. You understand? I speak positive things to myself. This is how I see it. You understand? I'm not in that game of this fight of white Jesus and black Jesus. You understand? I
mm,
just pray to the supreme being.
yeah, I hope so, because one thing I noticed that the Europeans did was that they know that Jesus Christ was from the Middle East, which were like Yemenis and maybe but they decided to turn him to blonde hair, blue eye. In other words, they Europeanized their Christ, and the mistake we made, we will never Africanize our own. We tied it to them, and it still remained them by and large, even on the continent today. And in Ghana, I think one of the largest projects that they were doing recently was to build a massive church, like
Right.
as big as the people are still suffering. And most of the athletes ran away when they went to this Commonwealth competition, and yeah, they have money to be building massive church.
Mm.
That will cost. I think that they talked about over $1 billion or so. So these are the kind of things we do that sets us apart as we are not a serious people.
No,
General.
definitely. Let me make you one funny thing now. Do you know these days now? For some time, I didn't go to work for like 2 weeks. So because of that, I started watching Netflix. I don't really watch much, So most of the movies that I watch is Italian and Spanish movies. I'm talking movie from Spain and Italian, you know. But
Mm.
why I'm saying this, these movies that I watch, they translate all this movie, you understand, to English. Then I just take a look at myself. I said, do you know certain things we do, like you talk about this religion? Do you know Nigerians can actually add good movie and just do translate, make that movie be completely Yoruba or completely pidgin broken? You understand?
Mm.
Then send to Netflix for the normal translate to this so-called American accent or British accent. Let just have our own, like the way
Yeah.
Nigerians watch Telemundo in Nigeria, English version, even when
Mm.
it's actually the original one acted. So that may just be for business purpose. You understand? Let's just keep our thing. Than convincing our people back home with they go barbing salon, failing to understand America call barber shop, British call saloon. We
Mm.
just mix English up and down. You watch Arise News, one American accent, the other one British accent. We convince our kids, in
Mm.
school, thinking when you speak better English, you get A1 in English, which doesn't work like that. So I understand
I
all
feel
those parts.
embarrassed sometimes a bit, actually, when I try to speak as clearly as possible, because I know this is not my forefathers' language that I'm getting so good at sometimes. And it's a bit weird, isn't it? When you feel like you want to go back to your own traditions and your ways, or what you used to have before, and now you are still relying on some of the vestiges of things that have happened that you probably wish never happened. I didn't know that in Africa that 10% of the language spoken, 10% of people in Africa actually speak English. I thought it was a lot larger than that. I didn't know that. And if it's that low, it tells you that there's no reason why Africans cannot decide, okay, let's pick one language, or West Africans, or even Nigeria, pick one language to make. Oh, Nigerians will never come to the agreement. Let's forget it. But we could speak one big language and choose it like Hausa or whatever as our own language instead of speaking a foreign people's distinct language. Because sooner or later, when are we going to decide to say, you know what, we are our own people? You know, are we're not
we're working, we're slowly, I think we're slowly getting there because there's a lot of shift mind wise that's been happening. And we have to understand, I think that, a lot of us have to try and read more about our history. Here's the thing. Before the so-called palm colored people came to Africa, we already knew our way to the creator of all things. This is a fact. We already knew that it was wrong to take somebody else's wife. We had like, it was like we're like a walking uh what's it called, laws of God on earth. If you go to a lot of traditions in Africa, especially in Nigeria, in different parts of Nigeria, your mind will be blown. How these people, the traditionalists, how it was done back in the day, what we believed in. Now, when the palm colored people came, right? When they came to Africa, they knew that we knew who God was. They already knew that. When they were talking to the missionaries to go and disperse and educate the people, they said they wrote a letter, right? King Leopold, he wrote a letter to the missionaries and he said, these people already know right from wrong. They already have a knowledge of God. That's not what we want to do. We want you to make their beliefs unpalatable. And I'm summarizing. So people need to go back and read some of these things. It's very important. This is to tell you that already you have. See, personally, the belief that I have, I'm a very, very spiritual person. And I'm not just saying it, it's not a boast, it's just who I am. God already exists, the creator of all things, whatever language, whatever description you want to give him, already dwells inside of you. He already does. In the Bible, for the Bible scholars, I am not one, but in the Bible, it says that for those who God already knew or already ordained he foreknew, or however way it is said. See, that word, some of those things that you find in the Bible, your ancestors were already practicing some of them on a very high level. That is
100%.
something like
yeah.
my grandmother would look up in the sky and tell me exactly what time it is. We were one with the universe. We were one with nature. So I encourage us, let us go back and read our history. A better understanding of who you are and where you're coming from will give you more clarity as to who your God is. It's not what somebody told you. This is why it looks like religion is a joke right now, because people don't even know who they are. So you find people going to churches, to mosque and all of that. They just utter repetitive words. They don't even know what they're saying sometimes. They just say it because it's the normal thing for them to say, and they leave empty. Going,
Yeah.
so we cannot forget that. So let's remember, as a people, as Africans, we already have what it takes. We were made specially. We don't even understand that. We have not even started to scratch the surface of who we are. It can be frustrating sometimes when you're talking to some of us, because you're trying to educate, you're trying to enlighten, you're trying to open their eyes to say, see, what you're pursuing. There's a balance in Nigeria. Which they look for Sokoto, they inside your Shokoto. It's so true. You already have it. If you remember, for those of you or those of us who still have our grandfathers, or for me, I remember my grandfather, when he wants to pray, he will put his hand on his head and he will say things to him. He's like, as he's going out today, may the spirit of his the spirit of his father or his mother make his way straight. May he find favor. May everything that the kind of prayers that the man not ever read Bible. How he knows how to stay.
That's exactly how Catholic pray. Only Mary, Mother of God, pray for us.
You understand? So he begs. Sometimes when I look at the Bible and the way they talk about it, it's almost like they stole it from us and just kind of look. I used to be in a Bible study group when we're talking about biblical things, sharing the Bible and everything. And when they say give their own perception of what they think and whatever, and I add my own understanding, I realized that the understanding, some of them had to tell me why your understanding is so high. They keep telling me, are you a pastor? Are you a prophet? But these are things I learned from when I was young. Like I already knew, I don't know how to explain it. I already knew there's an existence of something greater than you and I. That's the force of nature. When I interact with people, I don't interact with people just face value. I'm interacting with the spirit within you, not you. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
No, I understand what you are saying to an extent. I personally, I believe that the spiritual, the physical are all manifestations of what the will of God is. And like you said, God is in everyone. And, the way I look at the world is that whatever is happening is the will of the creator, whatever created us. That said, I agree with you about, how we should start realizing who we are. The question I always ask myself is, why have we not started teaching our people these things since 1960? What has prevented us from doing it?
Because a lot of us a lot of your forefathers and our forefathers bought into, well, not my forefathers, because my dad did not send. He never believed it. He used to say, now the worst people they go church fast, I beg. Mona they go, me I did. I really I thank God for the kind of parents I had. The kind of parents I had, they did not impose anything on any of us. So we found God on our own, in our own different way. It is the most amazing story ever. The way I discovered who I was is different from the way my sister discovered who she was. I'm telling you, it's crazy. But why am I saying this? Because most of the people back then, you have to remember, when the palm-colored people came, they snatched a lot of things and tried to bastardize a lot of our ways and all of that, which most people bought into. Okay, when they bought into that, they passed it on. You have to remember there were people older that were translating Bible already. They were already translating Bible to Yoruba. I don't know if other ethnic groups started translating right after, but I remember vividly Yoruba, Bishop Ajayi Crowther was the one that, so that was already happening. So when you've had a brainwash that you don't even know who you are for years, for decades, it's a job on its own to now, something that every human being, every African ought to do wherever you are, right? You have to start unlearning certain things, right? Taking the good knowledge that you already have, because those knowledge already exists within you. It already is there. Just tap into it. Know who you are. Read your history. Go back. They say if you don't know where you're going, at least you know where you're coming from. Go back.
Omoye, somebody like you that happened to be a good student of literature can really help.
As a matter of fact, I was.
I know, because you're a lawyer. So you must be a good student of literature. So somebody like you can do more research and start helping us put some of those scripts. Because you see, these things that you say, it's a privilege that some of the information you got. But when you tell some of us to say, go get these things, they are not just there. Like, let me make you understand. I went to Nigeria this year. I was born, raised in Lagos. And I went to Badagry. I stayed in Badagry for 4 days. My younger brother built a very nice house there. Was living in Ghana, then moved to Badagry because of this 419 problem, Yahoo Boys problem. So he had to move back to Badagry so that he can be doing his business in Ghana, just be going back, not to live there. So what am I saying? Then I went to the slave camp. I went to everything. That should be the biggest place you can talk about the story about slaves and the likes. There is nothing there. I only brought one book. They will not even allow you to take pictures in some of those things. You will not video, you will not take picture. I had to beg and do the Nigeria way. Even give 7,000 to take some of the pictures. Like the story of the ship that came to take people, named Jesus of Lubeck, the likes, the Samuel Ajayi Crowder office. I was in his office. I took picture there, the well there, everything. But what am I saying? There is nothing there to learn much other than just talk. Like, there is no book, there is no CD. I beg these people. I said I have a lot of African American friends that I will tell these stories. I don't want to be saying it like I'm stereotyping. Let me even give them books to read. Let me give them CDs to watch. You understand? Nothing. So it's hard.
This evening,
sorry to Nigeria. Sorry, there's a channel that I will introduce to you. That I'm going to say to you. Or maybe I'll even share it in one of my maybe I'll do another video and just put the link somewhere so you guys can reach it. This particular person teaches all African history. He's fantastic. He's on Patreon. He's on YouTube. There's a particular person that I follow, and if you want to know more, because that's how I learned most of those things. I will watch some of these things and then I'll do my research on Google. So it's not something that I can, say, okay, and now start like intentionally now making notes and then so I can communicate it to people. Now, when I listen to that history, I start to connect the dots. I'm like, oh my God. And I remember, for instance, when I read the history of Benin Empire, right? And how the wall and how, the Oba was feared and he was highly respected and all of that, right?
No verse, I beg, no verse. Make I cut you off now, I beg. No verse. I beg, if you have good material about Benin Empire, there's an African American person that did their ancestry thing, and they come from the Benin Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
This person don't disturb me that I should send material. Okay. I don't get anything. I go, I beg. If you can help me with anything about that, I will really, really appreciate, please.
Yes, I get I get one guy. That's when I did Facebook that time. You get one guy. He was I think he's from Cotonou. The guy is a writer. He lives in France, I believe. He did a writing on Benin Empire. I think it was on The Guardian or one of these major international papers like they did an expose on it, but I'll find, because he shared it with all of us on Facebook at the time. I will try and dig it up again, and I would certainly share it, because these are things that the more you know, the more you see yourself in the history. The more you know, it's almost like someone finding their way home. You start to connect the dots. It doesn't excuse if you're a Muslim, for instance, it doesn't automatically say don't be Muslim again. No. It now depends on how you approach your belief of who God is in a deeper way. That's what it gives you. It will not take you off completely. I mean, there are people who just completely switch and say, you know what, our fathers knew it better. That's okay. I'm not judging anyone, but it gives you an in-depth understanding of who you are and why you react the way you react. Like sometimes I thank God I still have my mother around. So I ask her questions about, her mother, her grandmother, her great grandmother. Matter of fact, started writing names out of great grandmothers and grandfathers. Thankfully, she was able to share and all of that, right? I found out that in one of my lineage, one of my great grandmothers, the man she married was a very brutish man. And this great grandmother of mine was very, very docile, very quiet, doesn't talk. The husband dealt with her severely and beat her to deletion. Okay? When she shared the story with me, I don't know what it did to me. In my spirit, I was like, oh my God. I was just imagining, and when my mom was sharing it with me, she was like, because of that, her own grandmother told her grandmother, my mom's grandmother, which is my great grandmother, because this happened to my great grandmother, right? Told her daughter, you marry a man, he raises his hand, don't let it bring it down. pack your load and go, because beating no dey good for woman body. You no go see am now na old age you go dey feel the impact. My grandmother shared it with my mother. My mother took that, shared it with her daughters. So if maybe I'm dating a guy and maybe I've never experienced it, I don't pray to ever experience it. You can't, because that already in my subconscious, like an alarm is right there, like a defense is already there. You see what I mean? Why? Now you have a depth of understanding, so you are not complacent when you meet people that are, contrary. They do things contrary to what your spirit allows. And because the way we are in Africa, they'll say, oh, now husband woman house they do na dear na be your whatever. So some people delete there. They will say, I can't go back to my father's house, or I can't do this, so they delete there. I don't have that mentality. You can't do that with me. Why did I have that? Why do I have that knowledge? And why do I have that spirit within me? It's because I understand where it's coming from, and I know. So this is why understanding who you are and understanding your history, if you can, talk to your parents or talk to your grandfathers, or even if you don't have any, you can read history. Because when I was reading, it was through reading that I was able to ask my mom very, some types of questions that you would not hear often, right? I was asking her some deep questions, and thankfully she had information and she was providing it to me. So this is why I say history is very important, because it helps you become strong in your faith, helps you have a better and a deeper understanding of who your God is.
But my problem with the way I look at the Nigerian polity right now, you don't see anybody talking as if they are talking about Nigeria's place in the world. And Nigeria belongs in a class of countries that its power can magnify when they get their act together. So Nigeria is of concern to any power in the world. Hence why some of this we are going through is because of that. It's like, it's like Cinderella. When they pick on Cinderella because they thought, she had something about her, she's prettier than them. That is how Nigeria is. Nigeria is being picked on because they understand that if Nigeria gets its act together, it's going to mean a big seismic shift in the power dynamics in the world, because Nigeria has such a powerful hold on the continent, and it's going to lead a massive, because the majority of the continent is black, and Nigeria is the largest black country in the world. If Nigeria gets its act together, it's going to lead the black nations of the world, and it means a lot.
Yes, a long time ago, I was at a professional hangout, and this person was talking to me, and he was sharing he said there was something, he had some type of dream where that he knows for a fact that the liberation is going to come from Nigeria. That until Nigeria gets it right, every other African country will be struggling. And I believe that so strongly because of the kind of people we are. I have to reiterate, and I think Femi Bash just took it straight out of my mouth. Our ancestors were already practicing the 10 commandments. Let me tell you about my tradition in Edo, in Isha. Isha, if you Isha woman, you marry man, na Isha man. The man not fit cross your leg. The traditions are so strict. Another man not fit just waka cross your leg. It's not possible. You don't sleep with another man's wife. There's something attached to it. If you try, you go suffer the consequences. Before, when the woman maybe will go and stray out of her home, now the man it affect, or it will affect the first child. Now I think they amended it, or they fixed it, or whatever. So now if it's the woman that does it, it affects the woman, right? Of course, they pay more attention to the woman because we live in a patriarchal society, but I digress. But there are very strict, like as an Asian woman, I can't just throw my body around. You know how people just say, oh, I met this guy and I just, we just had a one night stand. And not, it will be hard. You can't find an Asian woman that does that. It's not because, there are no people that are promiscuous. Of course, right? We have those. But if you are an Asian woman, you understand, it go hard you. Because you can't just throw, there's something, they drum it into your head that your body is precious, is a temple. You can't just allow any man defile you. That man has to be coming correct. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that woman would rather stand and wait. That's why Asian women get married early. I'm one of the odd ones. I was one of the exceptions. When I tell some people then, a long time ago, I'll tell people, they ask me, and I'll tell them, you are weird, though. You are not married. You don't have 3 children yet. Now, wow, your own different. But I'm
Mm.
saying because of this is something I grew knowing and seeing. So there were certain things that we were practicing that was already 10 commandments that we did not even know. But because, and then again, our forefathers did not teach us, they didn't pass this knowledge down. They believe that, oh, you're still too young, they can't share certain information with you. And then what ended up happening, some of the greedy ones amongst us started selling off some of these gods. If you go to San Francisco Museum, if you go the second floor of San Francisco Museum, you go Nigerian artifacts like full Nigeria, Benin, Asia, Urobo, all the deities, all the small, small, I don't even know they all they there, line them up. Then Yoruba own they there, all of them
Mm.
full everywhere, and it's scary. If full, I can't sit down, I can't look. It was a Rwandan guy that invited me that day, and the guy was telling me, say, hey, now wow, Nigeria everywhere. Hey, they really stole from you people. Oh. You understand what I'm saying? So a
Yeah.
knowledge of self is very important. And when you're knowing yourself, it really helps your faith in whatever you practice. I'm not here to judge anyone's practice, but whatever you practice, it drives it home. That when you speak, you're speaking with such confidence and a knowledge that comes from within, not just what you read alone, you know?
Mm.
So we don't
Mm.
play for this life, oh,
It
child.
helps.
Yeah.
It helps you hold your head up. You see, the Ten Commandments
Yes,
is mostly a kind of plagiarization from the Egyptian book of the principle of Ma'at. So look at some of these things. It says, "I have not committed sin. I have not stolen. I have not stolen food." They even separate food from stolen food. I have not told
yes.
lies. So if you look at, there were 42 laws from Egypt that they
Yes,
condensed to
yes.
12
So,
commandments.
sorry, Mr. Andrew has been, Mr. Andrew does not know how to interject like we do. He's been quietly in the background. So, Mr. Andrew, please, let's hear you talk and then we'll start rounding. Thank you for your patience. I'm so sorry about that.
No, no, it's okay. I'm listening actually. I'm just need to pick a little bit from what everyone said. And what you posted there by Femi Bash about the our ancestors practice the Ten Commandments proud to, and which is it's not just our ancestors. I mean, the Ten Commandment is about good and evil. So you don't teach a child how to lie. The child just pick it up one way or the other. So it's from when we are born we practice the Ten Commandments unknowingly, and I acknowledge our history, our traditions. I acknowledge, I mean, people's belief and what they choose to, which God they choose to worship without any offense. However, if we narrow religion down or belief or Christianity or whatever it is, it comes down to good and evil, and good and evil does not exist because of my color, because of my where I come from. It comes from the heart. That is where good and evil comes from, and the Bible makes us understand. I'm very privileged to read a lot of books, and also I have read the Bible a couple of times, which I continue to read, and I also teach the Bible. And so when we look at good and evil, we can just narrow it to how I deal with you. So I have to consider my responsibility to that supreme being, to God, and my responsibility towards you, my fellow human being. So that is just narrowing religions down to two things: responsibility towards God and my responsibility towards it. So What do I think towards you? Do I think evil or good towards you? For example, we are on this platform now. Let's assume we know each other face to face and we interact with each other. What is my thought towards you? What do I wish you? Do I wish you good? Do I wish you bad? Do I wish you to progress? Do I wish you to digress? That is how we now start to measure our relationship with God. Now, I think one of the speakers said the Southerners are moving away from this mentality of the. I stand to be corrected if I'm quoting you wrong. From this Western religion, this and that. Listen, religion plays a very role in Nigeria, and Nigerians are so religious. And I want to focus on the Christian, but unfortunately, we've taken it further than what is not supposed to be, whereby we focus on the man who is teaching or who is preaching and take away instead of focusing on God himself or the supreme being as Omoyes Kwana put it. So it's down to the heart of you and I. So if I really cares for you, and that's the problem of Nigeria. We may condemn the Western world as much as we want to. I can understand that. I'm not saying they are innocent, but let's take a step back and see that no matter how bad we condemn them, they still have this level of degree of concern for the citizens, which we lack, or we don't. I would say we lack. We deliberately, our leaders. Let me be specific. I'm sorry. Our leaders deliberately don't want the citizens to get better in life. It's not because we're African. Now, most of us migrated to the same people we condemn because things works there. There's light, there's road, there's education, there's medical, there's this and that. Now, is it because they don't want us to progress back at home? The answer to that question is no. We have to come to the point where we start to accept responsibility for ourselves and do things the way it's supposed to be. Now, everything that is happening right now, like I said, I've read a lot of books. Right now, I focus on just reading the Bible, and we are wicked. Nigerians, our leaders, it's just sheer wickedness, where one man wants to have everything and others should suffer. It's just pure wickedness. Not because of what the white man wants us to be. No. We can make decisions for ourselves. Now, I am not saying people should not make a choice of who they want to vote for. We can decide. But if you've lived in Nigeria and you've seen the trends of things, the people on the platform of candidates, they are not strangers to us. They all have history. And if we now go back to their history, the way we're talking about the history, our African history, this and that, we will see that there is a comma in each and everyone's life. And therefore, why will someone in his right mind will say, I want to vote for this person? I mean, let's be realistic here. So this is not only just about leaders now. If Mr. Tinubu, with due respect to his health, because we never condemn anybody on the basis of their health, it can happen to anybody. But the simple fact is, the man cannot explain how he made his money. Atiku cannot explain how he made his money. So, and the reason why most people are going for Peter Obi is not because the man is a saint. It's because the first time in the history of Nigerian politics, a man came out and said, this is what I did, this is what I did, this is what I did. Go check it out. If it's wrong, you come back to me. If it's right, you make a choice. This is simple fact for everyone to think. I know Nigerians would have loved to be on such platform. It always saddens me because we are in diaspora. Sometimes it just appears we are talking, or it seems we are talking to ourselves. But because of electricity, data issue, Nigerians cannot really come on such programs, and it annoys me because they need this message more than you and I. They need this message. And when certain people have put us in that utter darkness, you can't wake up in the middle of the night to even read your book. Just forget about the Bible, ordinary book, because why? There's no electricity, there's no light. And our
Can I ask you a
people,
question?
here, go ahead, sir, please.
If somebody is flogging you with a whip, do you go after the whip or go after the person flogging you?
Sometimes you have to block the person and collect the whip before you can actually reach the person. If you
Okay.
imagine, when we are when we're young and they try to flog us, or even in school, we kind of first of all block the cane or the whip. Now we cannot attack our teacher. Now, if we are talking in terms of our leaders, okay, if that is your question, I don't know.
There's a
That's
second whip coming down because it's not only one whip. There's a second whip, and sooner or later, if you don't confront the source, you're going to have a problem, don't you think?
Of course we have that's what I'm saying, that we have to confront the source, and the source of this is pure wickedness. However, we that are receiving it, do we lose our, have we lost our senses? That is the question I'm asking. We've received this over the years, that this whip of bad leadership, we've received everything down the line. So is it not time for us to now call ourselves back and say, listen, over the years we've received these things, this beating, this injustice, this bad leadership. We don't have anything, nothing is working for us. Let us make a shift. There's nothing wrong in making a shift. Let's make a shift and give somebody else a chance. You ask a question that, do we think Peter B will do the will of the people? Now, I cannot tell you outrightly that Peter B is going to do the will of the people. You know reason why? Because I cannot read his heart. However, I can look at his history from where he claims to be coming from, and I can now judge him on that basis. That okay, this man have history. It was, and to be honest, I never knew about Peter B. I have to be honest until I listened to an interview given by the Dr. Donyo Kukwe. I didn't know he was a governor of Anambra State. I have to be honest with you. I never knew. And when I listened to Dr. Donyo Okukpe and what he said about Peter B, so I took my time to listen more, to also look at his history and everything. So when you look at history of somebody, we all have history. There's nobody that doesn't have history. We all have history. So when you now look at their history, then you can now base your judgment. When I mean judgment, not base your decision at, okay, listen, I know Tinubu, I know Atiku, I know Kwakwanso, or I've read about them. Among these ones, this guy seems to stand out among them. So let me give him a chance. Because all these ones that I know, they've all been in government. And the question is, what legacy or legacies did they leave behind that impacted positively on our lives? And as such, we should vote for them. These are the things we need to questions that Nigerians needs to continue to ask ourselves, and we have to stop playing the game of religion and tribe, because they know they divide to rule, and this happened in the house of God. I mean, with due respect to any past, this happens in the house of God, where they do divide and rule. I speak.
Say, let me just interject, please. I think that the way you are analyzing things, like you use the term that we hope he does the right things. This is where most of the time, as somebody that's supposed to be, I differ from a lot of Nigerians because, for one, for me, I feel that the people are sovereign. The leaders are our employees. and we should hold them accountable because we are the people that they are meant to be serving. And when it comes to the division, from the way you are approaching, you seem to see things like the world ends around the borders of Nigeria, and without any other um, things affecting what is going on in Nigeria. We know full well the diaspora affects Nigeria. We know foreign governments affect Nigeria, our leaders. And to say that it's just downright out of wickedness that everything is happening.
Sorry, I have to interject. Please, can you let Mr. Andrew conclude, and then you can respond to him?
No, 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 no.
No,
It's
he will be
okay.
able to respond. Yeah, he will be able to respond because I know he's in those things.
Mr. I don't know, to Niger. Listen, I have never denied the fact that external factors plays a role in our politics or the way situation is in Nigeria. I have never denied the existence of the diaspora because I am also in among or in diaspora as well too. But for crying out loud, despite recognizing these external factor affecting the issues of Nigeria, does that mean that we should not take responsibility for ourselves and by ourselves? I mean, consider yourself in your own home, and at every time an external person comes to control or tell you how you run your home. Well, if need be, they will. But at a certain point, there's this expectation of you taking responsibility
Exactly.
for
Both
your
can be
own
true.
action. Let me finish.
Somebody
May I
can
finish,
attack
sir,
you and you
please?
can
May
take
I finish?
responsibility.
May I finish, please? And that is exactly what I am saying. That it's high time we take responsibility for ourselves, for our action, and let's shift, let's move, let's change the narrative, the way things were being done before. Listen, I'm going to tell you, if I put a question to you now, okay, let me put a question to you now. Among the candidates that are being displayed, that are displayed right now, you familiar with every one of them, would I be correct?
Yes.
Now, most of them have been in government. Would that be most? Some of them have been in government previously. Would that be correct?
Yes.
Now, can you please tell me what legacy any of them left behind that impacted? Well, I don't know how long you've left Nigeria, or maybe when you were in Nigeria, even up to now. What legacy did they leave behind? Would you mind telling me that, please?
Any of these people, legacy they left behind. I think, from the point of view of Peter Obi, he did leave a legacy of a better education system for Anambra State. He left surplus, and he did some projects in his state. Bola Tinubu, obviously, while enriching himself, did collect more revenue from for Lagos, and yeah, he did quite a lot of projects in Lagos, to similar to other governors. And if you look at Atiku himself, he's responsible for the privatization that took place in Nigeria in terms of the telecom sector and a few other sectors in the country. While enriching himself too, a lot of
Okay,
corruption.
let me stop you there. You have a clause on Tinubu, you have a clause on Atiku, but you do not have a clause on Peter Obi. So the question now would be now is, if these three people are put in your presence now, they say, listen, Mr. Tunaja, given to your argument or your explanation based on the question that was just put to you, which one will you put forward to the people or recommend? Don't let me say, let me recommend to the people to vote for, please.
That's easy now. It's Peter Obi, of course.
Okay, so giving to your answer now goes back to where you said, will Peter Obi do the will of the people? Now you will now agree that, or let's just agree that yes, he will do the will of the people based on what we are seeing. However, the person who knows the heart is God. We don't see him shift. I don't see him. I don't see him shifting away from what, because he has more to lose, to be honest, than Nigerians. You know why I say he has more to lose than Nigerians? Because it's going to be there for 8 years, 4 years, let's say, if we do not, if we refuse to serve the people, to be accountable, to be transparent as he has promised, or is campaigning, or to his past record, and he changes, it's going to be there for 4 years. But now we, the people, will now have to make a decision now to say, okay, listen, this man said this, is gone, he didn't do it. We now have to look for another person. So that's why I said he has more to lose than we, because his name in history, or whatever he has worked for, will just become null and void. So this is the angle to which
You,
I often look at
I
it.
think you are looking at it that these people are, they feel like their power is from what the people think about them. They don't necessarily see the world that way. The way I look at it is that we have come too far, and we are in danger of they see, I don't want to come across as an alarmist, because I always do that sometimes, but we are seriously in danger of things going badly wrong for us. The world order is realigning itself, and if it settles and we have over 4 billion people aligned on one side with the powers of the world, what will hit us will be worse than what the Berlin Conference did. And this is my concern, that our people are not ready and they are not thinking in that direction at all. Because this
Okay,
squabble that is going
let
on
me,
between the East and the West is going to end sooner or later.
let me say, uh, you see, you see the sky that we're seeing. There's this in Warri, they said, look at the sky. If the sky is going to fall, it's not going to fall on Two Nigeria's head only, and it's not going to fall on Omoye's head only. It's going to fall on all of our head. That's the literal sky we're seeing. If it's going to fall, that's meaning that, listen, if the worst comes to worst, we all, it's going to affect every one of us. Nobody's going to escape it. So, and that is why I maintain a
But why do
degree
you
of
say that though?
I'm going. That's why I maintain. I mean, based on what you just said, that we have to align. Nigeria is not aligned with the world powers or the West and East. They are going one way, and we are going another way. Now, if anything is going to happen, for example, the state, if the Western world respond, like a joke somebody said, that when they came to take our forefathers as slave, and he applied for visa, and they asked him what is he going to do in America, and he said, what do you mean? Do you not know I'm going to look for my forefathers that you came to take them as slave? I'm going back to look for them. Now, that was a joke. Now, the point I'm trying to make is that if you destroy somebody's house, home, territory, that does not guarantee that your territory will be safe, because we will go and look for, the people will go and look for where to find hope. And so we cannot, even if they are responsible, partly responsible for our problem, they also will bear also the consequences in one. That's why you see people trooping into Europe, because of the problem that is happening in Africa. But I will keep telling you this, Mr. Two-Niger. We have to take responsibility. I am not an
Mr.
alarmist.
Andrew,
But
Mr. Andrew, I guess you spoke well.
the sky didn't fall on them when they had the Berlin conference and
Mr.
came and took over
Naija, I
Africa.
beg you, I beg, Biko, Biko.
Are you scared? Are you scared?
No, no, no. Listen, I am not. I
Forefathers.
Let's
am not
talk now.
scared.
No, no, I'm talking to Omoye that is intervening.
To go and gist with my mother. Oh, I need to go and gist with her. I haven't gisted with her today. I need to go and gist
No,
with
no,
my
listen. I don't want
To
us to
Nigeria,
be. I don't want us to. Sorry for
Yeah.
interjecting. My apologies, please. I don't want us to think that the worst cannot happen. Please, I'm not. I am not that. I'm not. I don't polish things, cover
But
things
you
up.
almost called back the Mr. Andrew. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I get your point. I'm not trying to help
yeah,
you out there.
yeah, to Nigeria. I guess to Nigeria, you always go on this route all this time, and
All the
Yes.
time.
And when
Mr.
you go
Paul.
on this route,
Oh,
don't get me
hey,
wrong, to some extent, you're right. But just like as Mr. Andrew said, I keep on asking you this question all the time. Where is the West when Qatar is doing well? Where is the West when country like Singapore become first world nation? Where is the West? I am telling you, see, the West also have their own role to play, but we too, until we learn to take our own blame, until we learn to arrange our own house, until we learn to understand what is our priority and how we go towards it. You understand? Take, for example, in Lagos today, you see a stark illiterate send their kids to private school because public school is not working very well. You understand? Which means there are parts that people choose on their own that this is my priority. I will do it right. Even when they are not educated, when they close the door, they regret it. That's why they want to even try in their little way to give their kids the best. We might blame the West for all we care, but I can tell you to some extent, we did not arrange our home very well. That's why we are going through some of the things we are going through. And these are the things that is making some of us is clamoring for this Obi thing. I am not saying Obi is the best because I can tell you, yes, Obi might did one or two things good. Like if you want to champion or you want to do research in the 36 governors, one way or another, every one of them have one or two things that they did very well. If Obi come today and said he did this, he did that, let's just agree. The question I will ask people, how come people in Port Harcourt didn't start running away to run to Anambra to go to relocate? How come people didn't run from Lagos, other place to Anambra? You understand? Yes, Obi may just be the lesser devil, but with his record, he's still better off these other people. Let's just give him a chance. Like some of the things America do today, you see midterm election, we punish politicians who promise heaven and earth. Midterm election, they will use it to punish you, all the promise that you promised. If you could not achieve some of these things before 2 years, you're going to lose the house and you become a lame dog president. So these are things little here and there. So for father, let's not too think it about the West, the West, the West. It's not always about the West. Like they say, charity begins at home.
See, the two examples you use are terrible examples. They fall well into my wheelhouse, and it makes the point I'm making. You are using Qatar. Qatar is just 2 million people, and they have oil, and they are military. If you look at their military, in terms of proportion, is well higher than that of Nigeria. And the same thing in Singapore. So
You're right.
what I'm saying,
so the
see,
question
let me
I'm
finish the point I'm
asking,
making now.
there are African countries who have so much mineral and natural resources who also have that less population that are not doing well. Do you know
And
why?
what they lack
Because
is the same thing I've been complaining about.
they did not arrange their house very well. So when you are talking about Qatar show leadership, United Arab Emirates, what we fondly call Dubai, they fixed their home very well. That's why they could do well. You understand? The so-called Saudi Arabia, with all their Aram, with all the things that they go against, they still use the United States to protect themselves. Even with all the weapons and everything, but America still have American quota there to protect themselves, which means they also have good leadership who thinks very well. We are talking spirituality sometimes, past before we move to this topic. Remember, this Saudi Arabia, people from Africa go there to go pray, other part of the world. How come they still buy weapons in America on 100 billion? How come they still have American quota there to protect themselves? You understand?
Yes.
So that they can be big brother Middle East. You understand?
Yes,
So, which
because
means that is good leadership. It's not about because of anything. I'm sorry that my use of word. It is because of good leadership. These are the things that we lack in our own part of our world. It's not. Let's not just blame the West, hook, line, and sinker. Omoye was talking something about
people like to make this
our
for them.
culture. You see the way religion failed us from the West. That's the same way some part of our culture also equally failed us. That's why some of us run away from it, because some of our traditional rulers take the advantage, take some of the weak men, take their wife, take their kids, do so many things. That's why when we see the other side of religion, we just embrace it. You understand? So that's the same way. So it is easy for us to blame outsider, but when we close the door, let's also blame ourselves in where we feel we do wrong, and we can do better. You understand? We can champion our cause and make it work.
See, the reason why,
May I put Mr. Tunaja? Mr. Tunaja, I'd like to put you on the spot. I beg the I don't know how to put it. I'm going to be a little bit personal with you, okay? And it may take you off balance, but you see, this
go
is
ahead.
I keep saying this, and I'll always say this. This is a live show. Number one, everything we say goes on record. We must not think that, oh, we just speak and it goes into the air. People will watch people, but I like to put you on the spot. What solution are you preferring? Because from listening to you, imagine you are one of the presidential candidates in Nigeria at this very moment. What solution will you prefer to Nigerians?
Yeah, I've said it before. I will prefer that we create 2 million jobs immediately, 1 million recruited into the military, 1 million into police, customs, and border guards to
Now
secure
stop
our
there.
country.
Stop there, mister.
Okay.
So where is the Western world in this solution you are preferring now?
The solutions are to forestall the damages that
No,
can
no,
be
no, no.
done.
Where is the Western world? The
I
Western world
understand
in
what you
this.
are saying. I understand that it is on us to do these things, but I wouldn't be beholden to them. Most of our leaders are running to them every time now. That is the problem. They are always in Washington and London taking permission for whatever they need to do.
Mr. Tunaja, you're mixing things up. I really, that's why I said I had to put you
That
on
is
the
where
spot. If
you
you
ask
listen
me
to what Mr.
where does the white man comes from? The white man comes from because the other people listen to them. I wouldn't. Someone like me or anybody that I advise, I would say put your people first because you are not. It's not only Nigerians. It's not only our 200 million. It's over almost a billion black people on the continent, and not to mention around the world that are awaiting what our actions.
So what you're saying is that you are agreeing with us that we have to take responsibility for ourselves. Is that correct?
100%, 100%,
But
yes.
you see, you're passing a mixed message. That's what I'm trying to say. You're mixing the messages up, and when you mix these messages up, it becomes confusing. So we have to stay. We have to stay. We recognize the problem. We have to now stay on the part on one part to say, okay, listen, we're not dismissing like what that speaker said about Qatar is 2 million, and they were able to have managed that. If Qatar is 60 million or 200 million as Nigeria, it's the same principle they are going to apply, and the wealth will go round. So the fact that Nigeria is 2 million, God has given that country enough resources, natural resources, to cover more than 200 million people. That is the
Mm,
only country
mm.
in the
Okay.
world
Let
that
me just say
have
something quickly.
all
So
the resources.
you see what you said. I tend to have this issue with most of our discussion where everybody, like some people just think that one thing needs to be true. Both can be true. Both things can be true. We know we have to take responsibility. I've said it several times that black men are proven themselves. I'm sorry to all the people around to be the biggest failure among
No, I
a
will
large group of
not
men in the
allow
No,
world.
that
no,
to
no. Listen,
be.
listen. I'm gonna leave. I'm
No,
gonna
no,
leave
no,
this program if we continue in this manner, please.
See, I'm not.
no,
See, it's
no, no,
not.
no,
It's
no. Okay, Mr. Naija, please, with all due respect, I beg you. You know, see, we quarrel this afternoon. We quarrel, we drag ourselves. That you
mm,
have been
I
send that
I beg to take my leave, Omoye, please.
Thank you very much, Mr.
I am an I recognize problem. I prefer solution. I don't leave. I'm not an ostrich that puts my head inside the sand. But I can't continue with this conversation. I'm really sorry.
No, I
I have to take my
understand.
leave, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Andrew. I'm going to be doing the pictures right now, Mr. Tunanja. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your contributions. But before you leave, Mr. Tunanja, I want to leave you with this. You really, really, just like Mr. Andrew said, and Brother Paul has said, we have to look inwards. We cannot look outwards. The same people that sold us are still, some of their descendants are still around till this very moment. Nobody forced them to sell their own. They chose to. So to everybody's point and Mr. Andrew's point, we need to look inwards. We need to stop being wicked to ourselves. Stop being evil to ourselves. We cannot be having this back and forth. This is why your messaging can be very confusing a lot of times. It feels like you're always speaking from every angle, which, it makes the point that you're trying to make, out of touch, for lack of better words. So I don't want us, I allowed you on here because I just wanted to express that it's not hard, no hard feelings for me. I don't have any issues with you. I've never had. I just have a problem with the way you channel and say the stuff that you say. That's the only reason why I allowed you on here. So please, I don't have anything against you. I respect you. You're still a brother regardless. But I just want us to look inwards. You have a lot of work to do on yourself. We are still work in progress. We need to do better by each other. When you start to throwing those words out in public about your own people, the same people that you are very seemingly passionate about to want to, find solution for, you are throwing out words like weak and this and that. No, it shouldn't be coming from you. I'm not saying that when
Mm.
you do words like that, you're automatically pointing the finger at yourself. So I'm going to end this, please, Mr.
Omoye, Omoye,
Mr.
Omoye, Omoye, take it easy, take it easy. I understand to Nigeria. We've been on this route for a very long time. But to Nigeria, let me just say something. I always use phrase when I make words sometimes. To Nigeria, somebody said something. The Japanese, the Americans, the Canadians, the Europeans, they went and complained to God. They say, God, you've been biased. How come you give one country so much mineral and natural resources? So much. You understand? And you give America, we give us all these tornado, you give us all the bushfire, the weather thing and everything. And this country have the best weather. And do you know what God said? God said, relax. They don't have one thing. They don't have leadership. You understand? We are great people, very educated people. We are everything. We just don't get our leadership right. That does not make us a failure, because when other people manage us, we do better. See, every one of us, when we find ourselves outside the shores of Nigeria, we do great. Like I said, when I was in Nigeria working in the airline, my nickname is called Lavatory Engineer. When we are taking an aircraft for C check in Boeing in Seattle, when I did the test, I can tell you, like I said, I failed the test. But the Germans guys that I was working with, they know I have passion for the job, that I've been doing the job. The way they call an engineer, they run away because of they want to go work in the toilet, they want to go work in some dirty place. They run away whenever they see beautiful girls around, they want to come there, come work. This is
Mm.
what take me to America, you understand? Because I put in the work, you understand? And that work pay me tremendously. So we can do better, but when we just don't have good leadership, that is what is messing us. You understand what you are doing today to Nigeria? If you go to Nigeria, you may not get much with what you are doing, or you may get much with what you are doing, but the system may also frustrate that thing that you know how to do better. You understand? But when we get to the West, you understand, we just strive. So we can do better. Don't just use one word to bring us down. Like I said, the West may do whatever they want to do, but we also have our own problem. Like, we read book, we don't know whether how true it is. It takes somebody from England to come tell us that killing of twin is not a good thing. You understand? So we all have our own fault, but we can't just stand up and blame ourselves. The things my kids do today, you understand? My son lives in America. You understand? Light didn't go off. There's AC inside the bathroom, everything. But I will literally beg this young man to go take a shower. You understand? I will literally watch him after coming out of the shower to also use cream in his body, or lotion, whichever way we'll call it. You understand?
Mm.
And I live in a dry state, desert state. All his body will be ashy, and he will feel bad going to school again and say, guess what? People are cursing me that my body is so ashy. when he refused just to apply just lotion in his body. You understand? But guess what? That is the age. If I want to quick to fight this boy, only for my mom to tell me, you, when you this small, you know how you be. But guess what? I will defend myself in my own time. There is no hot water to bath. That's why I was lazy to take shower. But in his own, he can control the shower. My mom said that is not the thing. The thing is that kids will only be kids. You understand? So we've lived this wrong way for a very long time. Make people want to think that is the way. That is the only way. But we can get it better. You understand? And we can encourage. You know, everything can. I go against Peter Obi in a platform on Saturday over this money thing. So many people attack me. So many people even get my contact that Saturday. Inbox, we start talking private discussions and everything. Oh, Obi is not collecting the money. I say they're going to use it against Obi. But we can do that. But that does not mean that we just write our step down. You know, our problem is not the West. And our problem,
Wow. You see, the thing is, I don't know what is the issue with the way we talk, where 1 minute we say it's not the West, and then it's we blame ourselves.
Biko, I never chop. Mokuna no Biko, 3 hours over. Biko, I want to go. I'm
hungry. You know what? You can just leave, but we can still stay on. I think Dr. Damage is do that.
Two Naija no go let us come off for this level. You see, say
the funny part of it is the one that is in UK, that is in midnight too.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I'm the one making sacrifices. Yeah, 4:30 for almost 4:40 now.
Could I continue then? Me, I won't go.
Okay, me myself too. It's 8:30 p.m. and it's almost time for me to quickly go prepare for work for tomorrow. But to Nigeria, just believe.
We'll continue. We'll go do part 2. We will continue.
Yeah. But to Nigeria, you have to do this thing to win people over. You don't do it to discourage people. That's not how you even want to achieve your goal or your purpose or your yearnings or aspiration in life. It's not to bring people down. Let's not celebrate the problem too much.
They kept saying I'm not blaming our people.
Sometimes.
Then when I try to blame our people, they shut me down again because they kept saying I kept blaming the foreigner.
To Nigeria, why don't you see a problem with that? What you say with your mouth is powerful. Don't you know? Let me tell you something, an ancient trick. Your mouth is powerful. What you say, it become. When you use words, you are a man, for crying out loud. Why would you use words like weak? And you're always hopping on colonization. Not be them, cause not be them. They contribute, but now your own people say you out for taking.
And they want to employ another 1 million weak people to protect in territory.
Do you understand? So it is your choice of word. And to Mr. Paul's point, if you're trying to, make people understand and buy into what you're trying, because I'll be honest with you, some of the things you say make sense and I can relate with it. But then again, you will now turn around and you will now throw, it could be like say you do by your own self. They throw hammer, they throw metal into the wheel when they move already. You're just brought to a stop. I mean, you're an adult. I'm not trying to teach you or tell you. That's not what I'm trying to do. Please do not misunderstand me. From a person looking in, I'm hearing you, we're listening to you and all that. The words that you use, you're indirectly talking to yourself without even knowing it. We're strong people, we're peculiar people. Do we have problems? Yeah. That's what we need to work on. We need to work on, we don't love each other, we don't respect each other, we're wicked to one another. We need to work on that. Not be human beings there for Nigeria. Not be leaders with that when they treat their people anyhow. When people they delete on top of hunger. Not be our own brothers.
But I could shut you down for daring to call us wicked. We are wicked to each other and all those type of things. So people are. It's easy for you to say that, but if I say my own, you don't like it.
Cutting here, to Nigeria, beg. I don't fit. I don't try.
See, this thing that you are doing. You're gonna see. One day I will teach you because what you are doing. You just called us. You just called us wicked, all the rest. Then I have not said one thing. You guys,
Mr. Andrew said it, and I'm buttressing it. It is true. We don't show love to each other. Look at the people, the number of people that are deleting because of hunger. Look at that. Who is doing that to them? Is it not? Is it not the people that are called that are supposed to be the leaders? Are they not the ones doing it to them? Look at the state that Nigeria is. Who is doing it to us? Are we not the ones doing it to each other? This is what we mean. What would you call? How would you describe that? That's wickedness. That's not calling any one person wicked. That's just sheer wickedness that you watch your brother, go hungry and give up because of food, ordinary food. I mean, come on. People used to have farms and share food with each other. Whatever happened to that? So let's learn to focus and help ourselves be better. And then we can work
Okay,
on
let
this.
me ask you one last question then. Compare what you called us just now to what I said, and which one comes across as being more condemning of a people.
Okay, I will leave it to the audience to answer that question. Mr. Paul, what do you think?
I will answer that question.
What do
So
you
that
think?
question that you said, you are pushing people to the wall. You understand? You make people use word that she can take it back, but to Nigeria, I can tell you that you put her on that spot that you make her use word that she don't supposed to use. Like they will say anything you do or say we use against you. You understand? Sometimes you push people so much. It's you understand? It can be you even make people even lose their how would they say their line of thought or their thought of line. You throw people off sometimes with these words. I'll tell you that.
She's my sister now. I respect her for her own views. You see, that's what they did to me too. I was talking about European. They say I'm blaming everything on European. The moment I try to blame my own people, all hell breaks loose.
Honey, no lies there. No lies. I not detect any lie for that one. Every time European, Europe. Not record one so your brother there when they starve you. If you dey hear wetin I talk, wa yemi nulu obi e honey, o ma me gbo ba re ba na ile, ate egbe mama Tanya. We're talking about.
I don't know how to speak. Oh, sorry.
You see him, you know. I beg, like, what you try am. When you show up tomorrow, I beg you, make your point. Not just make to Nigeria. You make some point when you make it makes sense. You see all this is when you talk. We know. Most people know, but the way you make and you go be like so whether you intentionally they do you go just turn yourself to brick wall when you refuse to receive anything. And that kind thing they make they understand how the impression when they give people. And I think it may not be intentional, but you gotta try sometimes. Instead of even if you're angry and you're passionate, choose better words because you're also referring to yourself when you're doing that. We're trying to build forward. Look at this momentum. You can be a voice on the ground also. You want to tell me that if Itobi gets in now and things start to arrange, you're not going to go home. You're going to rush home. I know you must be one of the people that will fair rush home and go and be implementing things and maybe go and join army so that you can talk to the army people. I will not.
Now this kind two Nigerian ain't go wake Tupac from sleep. Say make he can't sing again. Say see black go become president for America when Obama they contest.
Thank you.
I'm in Nigeria as we speak. I see if I could be in Nigeria today, I would be in Nigeria today. See what is my life doing? What am I doing in my life? If I cannot
here's an opportunity for you, but just know.
I remember, sir, I don't promise you to buy you a ticket to go to Nigeria. When you
yes, exactly. And I will never forget that. The moment I want to travel, I'm going to think I'm going to travel. I'm going to remind you of it, and I'm going to make it public. So you give me the money. I don't have shame. I don't get shame. I tell you.
Hi, Mirabel. I need to go, Mirabel. What now?
Wait, hold on, ma'am. So I just wanted to say I was trying to type it, but I just felt like it was going to take too long to type. So I kind of agree with everything you were saying, but then when you were saying something about we are wicked and all that stuff, it was almost like you you was being the same as 2 9 so when he was asking you, okay, so what's the difference between what you said and what I said, I can kind of understand that, okay, you're telling me I shouldn't use words like this, but you're using similar words, so what's the difference between the two of us? But
Okay,
then
so
again, I understand Omoye's point of view, because the different I can really say the difference is Omoye called the actions bad. Okay, we're killing each other. That's wicked. Now that's an action. And I can be honest and say, you know what we're doing is wicked. What we're doing is, if it's an action, we're lying. Okay, we're lying. That's an action. But then with 2 9 he was not condemning an action. He was just labeling a whole nation. So when you say we are weak people, that's not an action, you
No,
know. But
I wasn't allowed to complete this thing. I wanted to condemn a specific aspect, but I wasn't
okay,
allowed to
but
complete.
okay. So if I had to judge based on what you say, when you say we're weak people, it's like saying we're stupid people. It's like saying we're dumb people. Those are not actions. Those are adjective. You know, you're defining us. You're defining a now. But when you say, you know what we do is wicked. When we kill our brothers, we're being wicked. You can try to tell someone else, well, you're sounding just like me, but it's different because I'm condemning an action and not I'm not condemning a person. It's not an adjective. It's actually, was it an adverb? It's an action that I'm condemning, not the people. So
Mm.
it's
I
different
was
because I
condemning
can
our
condemn
lack
an
of ability to
action.
defend our women, our children, and our lands
Okay,
from
maybe
foreign
you were not
influence.
allowed to get to that point, but I kind of understand Omoye's point of view, and she's coming from that place because we as black people, we as our people, we tend to talk down on ourselves, we tend to undermine ourselves, and then we want to build ourselves. How can we be doing the exact opposite? We're self-sabotaging. So yeah, we can be honest too and say, you know what, we screw up. We can be honest and say, why are we killing each other? This is wickedness. We can be honest and say we lie. We can be honest and say we're not honest. Those are actions. We can be honest. We can condemn our actions. Like there's nothing that stops us from saying, well, what we're doing is bad. Or because we want to uplift ourselves or want to do better, so we cannot call out bad. Yes, we can. We can condemn our actions, but it's a difference between condemning our action and defining us. When we call ourselves weak people, when we call ourselves stupid people, when we call ourselves, we're giving, those are all adjectives that's defining us, which is different, which is wrong, and that's where Omoyo's frustration comes in. But I also get to Nigel's point where he say, okay, Omoyo, what's the difference between you using this negative connotation versus what I said? But like I said, the difference is she's condemning an action, and you was not condemning an action when you use that word. You were giving adjectives to our people, which we're so tired of all the negative adjectives. We want some, because when you call us this, then we tend to leave out what we have been tagged. When we say we are weak, then of course we tend to be weak because we start even doubting whatever ability we have left in ourselves. And we stay weak, we get weaker. But yeah, oh my, I'm gonna let you go. That
thank
was all
you
I was trying to
so
say.
much. No, I appreciate you, Mirabelle, calling in. That's Mirabelle, my sister over there. She's a family member here. She's a village family member here. Thank you so much, Mirabelle. That was well stated. So do you understand now to Nigeria? Not be fight, not be quarrel. You're still
Mm.
my brother, regardless. But and as a dope person, say we they tell each other the truth. You know us. Now so we
Mhm.
be. Mhm.
Yeah.
So I me just the
Who
express
Nigeria Edo?
now I don't know.
I not
I
be
think
a
say na
though.
Port
I don't know why
Harcourt
you're
for
calling
you.
me a though.
I just say you be a do. This
Na
speak
Port
and be
Harcourt.
like our
Well,
of
I'm not gonna disclose where I'm from, but I am close to both sides. So
whatever.
we can be mixed in Nigeria now.
Yeah, that's true. We can't be mixed. We are all related anyway. Let me just put it that way. All of us are related.
Mm,
In any case, you understand what the breakdown she just gave, which makes a lot of sense. The truth,
yeah.
when you they use those words, there's power in words, and when you say it as you use weak, you are actually weakening it. You don't even know, because when you speak words, you don't see it, right? You just talk the word. That word don't go deliver the message when you send them. And I'm very glad that Mirabel came in and she was like a proof. The girl not professor, man. She just came and broke it down to the very, very minimum. That's what I'm trying. That's what I personally trying to communicate. I don't use those words. You can condemn the act, we can say, okay, we need to work on ourselves, we need to do better for our societies, we need to be better men, we need to be better women, you know without using derogatory words, because now we have a new an opportunity. It's not the most perfect. Peter Obi is not a messiah, right? But he's is the common sense person we have right now. We have to
Mm.
make use of what we have. So let's
Omoye, Omoye, the reason why sometimes one uses those terms because men sometimes shame makes them act. If they
no,
don't have shame, they're not
no,
gonna
no.
act.
Yeah, but you can do shame without using those derogatory words. When
Okay,
you
give me
can
the
say
word now.
it in such a way that you call the person to action. There are ways you can say something without using derogatory word and say, hey, you can talk to men and say, men, what are we doing? Why are we standing aside and watching
Mm,
people, just devastate our communities and do when there's a clarion call? When you say that, you
mm.
are weeping into the shame, the emotions of those men. Then they will realize that, man, it will make people go think. You
Okay, I think I
understand?
hear you on that one. I hear you. I hear you on
Yeah,
that
if there's anybody that is talking about men, I should pride myself, brother Bill. We should pride ourselves. I talk about
Yes.
men, talk about where men is even weak in terms of sex and everything in
one.
public. You understand? I
There
talk. How
you
men gossip more than women. I talk, my
go.
brother.
Okay,
I hear
so
you,
that they
Omoye, what
think
you
that.
said.
Sorry, what you say to Nigeria?
I said I hear what you said. The last statement you made that
I
there are other
appreciate,
ways.
I appreciate that. At least you hear, you understand, and you hear, and you take them. That's big, and I appreciate that, because I'm not expecting I will talk to you today, but I'm very grateful that I got the opportunity to talk to you, and everybody's clamoring for you in the comment section. They say they enjoyed you thoroughly. Marriott, you will come and you will call in when to Niger comes next time, so that you will be having conversation with him. Since you are very entertained and happy that is here. So you people can be arguing back and forth, because me, I don't have two Nigerian power. I beg. So
Yeah.
I'm going to say they're saying we should set a part two for this conversation. I
Oh
mean,
my, they never know say two Nigerian now. Bonnie will be pastor. They never
they
know.
never know. Wait, Mr. Paul, not tell them anything. Leave them. They go soon find
Nobody
out.
will be faster. That one funny.
I go schedule the part two. I go send Marriott message. I go
Mm,
say, Marriott, show up. Oh." Because
mm,
two Nigeria is gonna be here. So she says she doesn't like the stress. I'm doing this from bed. Oh, you're lying down and giving me stress, Marriott. Anyway, this was fun, guys. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to schedule a part two,
yeah.
perhaps tomorrow or maybe the day after, and then we can go, talk about this some more. And I just want to say thank you to Mr. Andrew for his valid points. I really appreciate him. Thank you, Mr. Andrew, and thank you to Ninja for coming up. I appreciate you, and we'll continue this conversation again. I will schedule a time, and then you guys will have the invitation, and don't forget to click on the notification bell so you would know once I come up. Brother Paul, thank you so much for being here with me. I really appreciate you. So I'm going to give you guys 1 minute to just round up, because I know so that wants to talk. So make I let you talk some more. So 1 minute to Mr. Tunanja, and then 1 minute to Mr. Paul. Your time starts now.
Yeah, Paul, nice to catch up, and thank you for having me, Omoye, and I'm glad I took part in the conversation. I think I've learned a few bits on how to talk to our people. Yeah, and I will take that on board. I'm not an entirely closed book. I like to learn. This is why I'm here, and I hope people come to these type of places with an open mind. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Niger for saying that. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm glad that you came on as well today, Brother Paul.
Okay, well, I think the sweetest thing to Nigeria ever said is his closing speech. It's
I
fantastic.
know. I know. I'm so flattered that Tunaija will say this. Honestly, guys, you guys don't know.
Yeah.
You guys
So
don't know Tunaija. Oh my God, this is like a
yeah.
huge
So
compliment.
let me just summarize by your topic and your topic
Yes,
that you put there,
yes.
why
Thank
APC
you.
and PDP didn't want to come. So like I said all the time in politics, economics 101, minority we have their say and majority we have their way. So this is the game that they are playing. So, and we all understand Tinubu. They are in the ruling party right now. So he understands that there's nothing he will say because the party has failed us. So that's why he's running away. But so we can also use this opportunity to keep pushing, 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 and also the obedient people, the so-called Labour people party that is coming out and everything. They should also be strong enough to get that thick skin to learn to take criticism and go back and restructure. Because if you don't want to take criticism, which means you yourself you are behaving like them. Because if they take criticism, they would have also done better. So the Labour people should also learn to take criticism and then go back, close door, and then strategize and come back again. It'd be better for every one of us.
Right. Thank you so much, Brother Paul, for that closing argument there. I appreciate it. Thanks for your input. I don't take it for granted. You're always coming here to support me. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful night, and I will see you again. I will schedule part two so that when I will come here, make you and two Niger and the Marriott and Mirabel Mona can talk.
Okay, good night. Bye
Thank you
bye.
very much.
And
Good
enjoy
night.
and enjoy my Arizona weather in California.
I will. I will. I don't get a choice. Thank you so much, Brother Paul. I appreciate you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Mirabelle. That was very nice of you. Thanks for coming in and just breaking it down. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Marriott. Marriott, you are lying down and causing trouble from your bed. Hey, this Marriott. Chai. Gravitas, thank you very much. Yes, absolutely. The power of social media will prevail in this election. I totally agree with you. Let's keep working at it. We're almost there. We can't give up now. We have to keep trying and trying. Eunice, thank you very much. Good night to you. Thank you, Neka. Thank you for everyone that joined. If I miss anyone today, I beg, make una no vex. So, make una no vex at all. Good night to everyone that came on board. I really appreciate you guys. I will set a part two to this conversation because we have to keep it going. As the elections come closer, we have to do our part here, a little part here, and continue. So, thank you to Professor, to Dr. Ife for coming earlier on. Thank you so much, Dr. Ife. Thanks for the knowledge you brought. I really appreciate you. I see the fire. Everybody's passionate. Madu, I appreciate you for coming as well. Gina, thank you very much, Gina. Thank you, guys. I greatly appreciate you. Femi Bash, thank you very much. Jeku Obedient, thank you. Kisses to you, Marriott. Thank you very much. And good night, everyone, and have a wonderful night. I shall see you again soon. And if you're catching this on replay, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, share your thoughts with me. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. And I'll see you some other time. Bye. Love you all.